Right.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Her Lounge podcast. It is a full house today. We have everybody you can think of today.
Yeah, right.
We have Aiden in the house.
Oh, what's up, Aiden?
What's up, Aiden?
On his tablet.
He's got the headphones.
He just rolled his eyes at me.
Oh.
He just went like this. Did you just really
He's
disturb
like,
me?
Mom, I'm gonna take you into the Honda. I was like, you are? He's like, yes. And then we're gonna get into the Lexus. I'm like, okay.
Today we have my co-host, as you guys know, Marissa's in the house.
Oh my God!
I said I was going to start introducing. I know, it's so bad. And then we have Rob's wife today, y'all.
Should bring your spouse to work
Rob,
day.
how did you get so lucky?
I don't know. Luck's kind of my middle
So
name.
we have Dawn in the house today, y'all. So this is kind of cool. Before we get started, I just want to remind you guys that we will be at the Soho Market on Sunday, May 16th from 12 to 5 p.m. So stop by. We'll have new merch. And then don't forget, I've already dropped the Motherhood collection, and Mom Wife Hustler stuff is released.
I gotta post my bag, boo. I love it.
And so go to herappareltx.com. And lastly, y'all, I have to tell y'all the weirdest story, but it's going to be funny. So remember I was telling you about those CBDs, right? That
The Delta 8?
the Delta
Okay.
8. Pete's going to get so embarrassed that I'm telling this story.
Oh no! Tell us.
But they're so good. So before I tell you guys, go to Shell Shock and use promo code Mariswole.
Oh, she's got her own promo code. Jesus.
ShellSockCBD.com.
Yeah, shellshockcbd.com. Go on there. And let me just tell you how Pete just knocked out. So I told you guys last time that he was out, right? And I just thought it was weird. I had to go check to see if he was breathing because
Checking his pulse.
because he hadn't moved and he's not one to stay in one spot. But then Tuesday, I think it was, I forgot what day it was, it doesn't matter. But all of a sudden I heard whistling in the house, like,
Oh shit!
I said, oh my God, somebody broke in through the window. My damn alarm didn't go off.
Girl.
It was the breathing.
Yeah,
He was
that's what
so
I'm
deep
saying.
into
He
sleep.
said it was his what?
His bottom lip.
Then all of a sudden I like moved so that he could get off of me because he just was on me. And I just thought
It was like dead weight.
Yes. And then all of a sudden he moves and he just starts rubbing on my booty, on everything. He just starts rubbing and rubbing
Get it.
and then turns around. And I'm like,
What was that?
I was so
He was in a trance,
confused. I
girl. He was in a
like,
trance.
I thought we were finna do something. I didn't know what. I was like, okay, so should I
hold
get
up.
ready or do I what? I don't know what's going on. And he just turned around and just went. I was like, what was he dreaming about?
Wow.
That's
So
so
just so
funny.
you guys know, that's if you need a
Damn,
good night's
Delta
sleep.
8, y'all.
Delta 8 is the thing
Get
for you
that
guys.
shit.
That's
Before I got
funny.
pregnant, I was doing I can't remember the name of those, but mine were just CBD and melatonin. The only thing with those guys, I love them because they knock you out and they don't take long to kick in either. So that's what I like about them. You know how sometimes melatonin takes you a little bit. I would always have weird dreams with them. Like they're
I do
just
too.
weird. They're just weird dreams.
I stopped taking my nighttime gummies because of that.
It was over the top, right?
Yeah.
I was to where I was like, what? One day I dreamt that Pete was like cheating on me and I walked in on him and he thought it was funny. And that pissed me the fuck off.
Oh, damn. She's punishing
So
him for a
listen.
dream she
Real.
had.
Listen, that pissed me off. And I start slamming his head on the concrete, bro.
Damn.
Oh, wait. That was still in the dream.
Yes, that was still in dream. Yeah, not in real.
No, Marissa, in real life.
No. I thought you told him. Hold on. I thought that you told him you had a dream that he was cheating on you, and then he laughed, and then you got mad for
No.
real.
It was in my dream. And then when
Okay.
I woke up, I told him, I was like, I just kind of felt like bad, but at the same time, I was like, hurt. You know how when you wake up sometimes and you're hurt about the dream that you had or whatever? So I was like, I dreamt that you cheated on me and you just kind of laughed at it. And you thought it was funny. Like you and the girl thought it was funny. And you just said, oh, on top of that, he said, I was just waiting for you to have this baby so I could tell you what was going on.
Damn.
Dang.
And that pissed me the F off. So I just grabbed him. I legit elbowed. First I did this.
Okay, John Jones.
All right.
And then I let him fall. And then I just grabbed his head and I just started going like this.
Oh my God.
Moral of the story is don't piss Mariswole
Yeah.
So that's what those CBD gummies
No
do.
more
to you.
CBD.
like no more. They make her violent.
That's how good they are, y'all.
Girl,
So
whoa.
shellshockcbd.com. Make sure you use promo code Marisol.
Oh my
So
God.
if you want the ones that you either get rubbed on or the ones
Yeah, right.
Pick yours that promote violence.
The dream
Give me the
murder.
violent ones.
So for Mother's Day,
Jesus.
Pete gifted me this little book that says Words to Live By. Some of them I'm not for because one of them's a quote from Hillary Clinton. I refuse to read that one.
You ain't gonna like everything in every book.
I'm not
Just
gonna
go with
read
what you like.
I'm not gonna read Hillary Clinton's ever.
Read it to me though. I want to hear what
rip
that
it
demon
out,
has to say.
But I'm gonna
read what the demon said.
She's like, I'm gonna do it off air. I can't do it on the
I know,
podcast.
right? Human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights.
That don't even make no damn sense.
That's so general.
Shut your motherfucking ass
Do
up.
I roll one eye or two?
Two.
Both.
And you did
Okay.
that with such oomph.
I swear.
Oomph.
It's crazy. But I thought it was cool. So he gave it to me this for Mother's Day because he says that way I don't have to sit there and find quotes. It'd be easy. So anyway,
thoughtful.
today's I wanted to say is Aretha Franklin's quote. So I thought
right.
I like Aretha. Sometimes what you're looking for is already there.
That's right.
I like that.
What allows for the clarity to see it, though?
I just think sometimes we just are so foggy with everything else and we don't allow the fog to like just kind of move out of the way when it's been there the whole time.
So it's you. So you
It's us.
got to get out of your
It's
own
always
way.
us.
Yeah, and your
it's
way,
just
yeah.
our perspective. Sometimes we get so stuck in our reality and the way things are that we don't ever stop to really smell the rose and say, you know
Right.
what? I'm good.
Yep.
All my utilities is on.
Yep.
I'm taking a hot bath.
All right, Rob.
I have a house. My kids are healthy.
That's what
I think I'm good.
I told Pete that the other day. I said, I get it. Like our business isn't where it was like before this pandemic, but I'm just grateful that I don't have to worry about my bills. That's the last thing I want is for my bills not to be able to get paid. Anything else after that is just a
Yup.
bonus, if that makes
Yeah.
sense, you know? But to me, it's just...
And look, we still struggle, but I can still see the good in
Right.
everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
Rob. Rob's like, listen, and he knew I was going to bring this up.
Yep.
Don, we do not get to cry about this. And I'm like, what? And he's like, no.
Can't I just ugly cry for 2 minutes,
Our
though?
kids are healthy. We have this. We have a roof over our head. We do not get to cry unless somebody's dying and I'm
you're
like,
dying, yeah.
damn. All right. Okay. You're
I
right.
agree, though. It is
Yeah.
like that. Pete is a little bit more of an anxious person, so he always is really good about
Yeah.
being able to find the bad in things. Like he's excellent at those. That's a good.
I feel like I can
His
relate to him
skill
when it comes to
is.
I can see that.
Yeah, his skill on finding the bad is on point. And I'm somebody
Oh, my
who
goodness.
I avoid that emotion anywhere in my head. I don't like sad. I don't like.
What slows you down, right? From finding the silver
Yeah.
lining.
So for me, it's like I hate that emotion. Don't bring it up. I don't want to talk about it. It's there. I know it's living
Yeah,
there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I just like kind of do this anytime it
Flick it
tries to
away.
kind of
Like a mosquito.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So sometimes
Shit, on Monday I had a breakdown while y'all were in here crying. I had a breakdown. I had to cry because I had an appointment with my kid's principal. They don't want him to come back. He's got to get therapy. He's got to get all of these things. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Y'all said that he could come back in August and I could do this and that. And then it's just like all these doors shutting for his education. And I'm just like, oh my God. So I had a breakdown. And he's like, Mom, don't be sad. Rome calls me. I told him what happened. He's like, it's going to be okay. But it took Rome to tell me that it was going to be.
Right.
And then there's some times when I'm the stronger one and I'm telling Rome it's going to be okay.
Right.
But we still have those moments where we're just like, okay, I needed that. And
Yeah.
let me just get it together. Now I got to get on the phone. I got to start calling this place, calling that place.
So you're gonna have to be dropping off two different areas.
Different places. Two different
tough.
places.
How far
but
are they
it's
from each other?
Well, I called the Catholic schools organization. You know, the people kind of like the like the superintendents, like the way HISD is. It's this like the main whatever. Because you can't tell me that there's not one autistic kid in a Catholic private school. You can't.
I'm sure a lot of them kids.
Yeah,
go-
so I'm just trying to find, okay, where is the place that has the support? Because this school said they can't do it. Now we're at a new school who told me that they could, and now they're saying that he can't. And so I'm just trying to figure that out. Public school is really going to be my last option.
Right.
Because I've talked to like 3 or 4 people, and then I have a school that I went to go visit. But all these places are expensive, boo. It's like $3,600 a month. And so they were public school teachers that they do the ABA therapy, but it's also academic. So Aiden won't be missed. And that's what I have to
Right.
find him like a school. But they were public school teachers, and they said that it's like a life sentence when you're in special ed. They never see anybody get out. And that's what I'm trying to avoid for him. So it's just been like this uphill battle. And like I said, y'all were in here crying all Monday, or they were, but I was really having a breakdown. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But it's just like, okay, you have that moment, and then you have to tell yourself, okay, no one else is going to get this done for your fucking kid. Get it together.
Right.
And then that's it.
Yep.
You know, but I have my little ugly cry moments.
Yeah, just don't do it right now. I can't have 3 episodes in a row where somebody's crying on this show.
It was horrible.
And I can't see anybody else cry because then it makes me cry. And I try so hard not to cry because I don't cry. I don't like to cry, period. Like again, it's that emotion that I just avoid. And so when I see someone else cry, I'm like trying my hardest not to cry. And then it's like, God, I feel the tear. It's coming. It's coming. And it's out.
You don't ever try to make yourself cry if you feel like it's been too long since you've cried?
Fuck no.
Do you, Rob?
No.
I do, but it doesn't work.
I was going to say, you don't cry.
I know,
it's
but
a Libra thing.
You know the only time that can happen to me, I'm going to be honest with you. Here's the only time.
In recent memory, or?
It's if anything that I think of randomly about my dad, it can instantly
totally.
spark
Yeah.
like a cry. But that's the only thing.
But that's what I mean. When you do that, don't you feel better afterwards?
I do.
Yeah,
You have to admit that, right?
Yeah,
That's
you
a relief.
do.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Don knows all about that.
Yeah, I do.
My
I cry all the
cry
time.
for me is literally going to the gym. It's like this breathing at the gym for me. It's like it's a harder breathing too.
Yeah.
On top of that, it's like a
There have been times, there have
like
been
a
times,
monster.
hey, there have been times that I've been at Memorial Park, girl, and I'm like, just walking through the thing,
I
and they're
saw someone crying
and they're
one time
looking
at
at
the park.
me, and I'm just like, bitch, look away, look away,
nothing to
bitch.
see.
I've seen someone and they're on the phone and they're crying. I just want to stop. Like, you need a hug. Like, you should not be in public right now, walking around the park crying. Like, just go find a corner.
You ever seen somebody driving down the road and they're you still look over and they're crying?
Yes.
I feel real bad because they're in their cars by themselves.
I've done all of those things though.
In the last 5 days.
But I'm the kind of person where I just feel like my emotions, I'm supposed to use every one of them bitches every fucking day. So I don't let any of them go without me at least tapping in.
Every day, Marissa?
Well, not every day, but
Okay.
you know, often because I don't know, I just kind of feel like my body's a machine, and if one little thing isn't working or being used, it affects other shit. So I don't have a problem with
I
it.
work
like, I gotta
really
do it all.
hard
I
at
gotta do it all.
my other having my other emotions control
Yeah.
the crying emotion. If
Yeah.
that makes sense, like the sad emotion, I work really hard at it. Like I avoid it. I think if you just try to like be happy, you can honestly just be happy. It's just like if you smile. Okay, guys, if you've never worked customer service, then you might not understand this, right? But I don't know if you've ever been in a training where they tell you if you're smiling the entire time you're talking, like if you put a smile on immediately when you take the call,
They can tell.
they can tell, and then they feel that happiness. So I don't know if that's so. Anytime I'm starting to feel like I want to feel like there's something sad or I'm overwhelmed, I'll watch something funny. I told Pete the other day. Because when you log on to our TV, the first thing you see is all the news because, you know.
It's too stressful. I've been trying to avoid that shit.
So I told Pete, I said, I mean this in the kindest way because I vlog, so it's not like I don't vlog, but I was like, I need to watch garbage TV right now. I was like, so I'm going to look up Jenny 6ix9ine.
Or Jocelyn's Cabaret, girl, double homicide.
Like, no, I'm trying to think of nothing that has to do with bad. Right. Like, I just want to find something. You know, it's just
stripper
like,
show, remember? With the
No.
double homicide?
Oh, yeah, the one I sent you where she said
That's trash TV.
Oh, that's what it's called?
Is that on
It's Jocelyn's Cabaret. She's got a strip club in
Is it
Miami.
on
or something.
YouTube?
I think it's on Weed TV.
What the
I didn't
hell
know
is
that.
I
WeTV?
haven't been able to find it, but I'm going to find
I
it.
thought that was from you know what I really thought that clip was from? I thought it was from the hip hop.
No, she used to be on Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah,
Now she
there.
has her own show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, that's funny.
So I was like, I just want to find garbage right now. Like I want to watch. So he goes, I said, I know what I'm going to watch. He goes, I already know what you're going to watch.
What?
Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I said,
Ew.
you knew it. I said, you got it.
I can't.
They make me feel better. I swear to y'all, listen.
They how do they talk? Like, oh my God.
They
like
make me feel better because it's just like hilarious. It's garbage TV. I know that. That's
I get
and
it.
I just felt like I didn't want to watch nothing about Israel. I didn't want to watch nothing about just nothing about Maricopa finding out that they fucking
There's
had
bamboo on the ballots.
I mean, I had enough. I was like, I can't anymore. I was like, I want to watch something that is unrealistic. Like, I don't, only rich people live like that anyway. So I'm like, let me go watch these rich people have first world problems.
If it's not them, what's other garbage TV that puts you at ease?
Maybe like a funny podcast, like watching it on TV.
Okay.
Or I watch Joanne Gaines.
Hey, what if Mariswole said, I can watch my own podcast on my YouTube TV?
Actually, I did yesterday because I was trying to see like how to like. So this is what I did, guys. When we were talking about, we had like a little meeting the other day. Rob, myself, and Pete did, and I had forgotten that I used to have, well, I didn't forget. I just fell off of staying active on it. So I have this Facebook group. It's called The Hacks of Life. Mm-hmm. Because I used to do Tip Tuesday, people would always ask. I felt like this was the better way to kind of like really like respond to people versus like just trying to fit everything in one, like a story. You know what I'm saying? So it was really cool. A lot of the women were super active on there. At one point, that group had almost 2,000 people. Now it's at 913 people. So it's still a good amount.
That's only because of inactivity.
Yeah, right. So it's at 913. And when they talked about it, I was like, wait a minute, this is like perfect time. Like I finally got it together with my brand, right? I was trying to at that time. As you guys, I'm telling you guys, when I tell y'all I've tried, I let it go. I try, I let it go. It is hard. Like y'all have no idea. I know everyone says you make it look easy. No, I've kind of like put it to the side sometimes because the focus is on something else. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. When we want to do something, it's like, I know it needs work, but let me get back to it at another time. So I wish I would have gone on top of it during the pandemic because I think that would have been a perfect time to have really gone on it. But I was focused on now trying to create my Patreon, which my Patreon did well as well. Then the world started opening up. The comedy club started calling. And so it was like my husband needed, we needed to get back on that track. So it was like, damn. And it was like I started letting my Patreons down. You know what I'm saying?
Life of a mother and a wife. Always putting your shit on the back.
Exactly. So I was
Life
like,
mother
fuck.
manager.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, okay, so I'm just going to be honest with him. I'm telling him I'll try this again at some other time and I'm going to have to shut this down. Like I can't keep up with it anymore. So I decided to start off with getting on that group again. It's struggling because it's like, hey, bitch, you abandoned us. Now you want to come
now
back
she wants
to
to come
us?
back.
Yeah. So I'm going to try my hardest to stay active on my Facebook group. And I think it's a great way for people who don't listen to podcasts. Now, it's because of our discussions on there. I feel it's a great way for me to introduce my podcast to other women who are not maybe even into podcasts.
That's a good place to get topics probably too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think that's where they're going to be. My Facebook group is going to be my testers for Patreons, for anything that I'm trying to do now. They're going to be my people because they were the people who were kind of active with me for a really long time. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I sat down the other day. I took the couch out of my room that was never, ever used. It was just sat there and it just created laundry on there. And I put my desk that was in here. Put the computer, I've set everything up, and legit it makes me feel like get out of my room, I'm about to like work, you know what I'm saying? And it's there and it's quiet, like my room feels good now, so it's like it's set up. And so yesterday I got on YouTube, I started reading comments. I'm like, okay, there's no comments on a lot of our podcasts, right? So we're missing something. Either we're not connecting with folks, or people just don't care to watch a YouTube podcast. So I like started going down rabbit holes of other people's podcasts that videotape them, because a lot of people now do that. Well, I came across,
I don't know, I kind of find it weird to leave a comment on a YouTube video though. Do
Really?
people do that?
I've never.
I don't watch YouTube.
I
Don't
do.
just-
I watch
just
it.
are-
I watch it all the
I
time.
literally don't watch
I
YouTube.
watch it all the time, but because I'm visual, I like to see.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel it's kind of weird to
leave a
Yeah, I don't want to be
comment on
insulting, but
YouTube?
the like comedians will always say like only real like weirdos go out of their way to leave YouTube
That's what
comments.
I was thinking. I'm just like, because you just want to listen and move on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But some people.
I read the comments. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that's
oh,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
That's why I
Did you
said I
ever
don't want to be
leave
rude.
comments?
I've only left it one time, and it was when I was watching that damn crackhead that Marissa sent me, and I wanted to save that baby.
You made a comment on the YouTube.
I asked them to email me. Don't
They
you-
offered this baby to her.
Yes, remember? But they were in Phoenix, and I was just
Yeah,
like really trying to
I
get to how do you
remember.
know how to get to the baby.
Oh my gosh.
That's the
It's too
only
much.
time.
It's
It
too
was the
much.
only time that and I was like, okay, you should really stay off of YouTube now. Like, you should
But
probably.
you went down a rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah.
trying
I
to
went
figure
down a
out-
rabbit hole, and y'all. So it's that guy that you sent me. What is it called? Fit and Fresh, or what are they called?
Fit and Fresh.
So they had this other guy who is like basically a I don't know, I guess a feminist basher.
Okay.
So he's for feminist, the OG ones. The ones that are really, I guess I want to say like, I guess have common sense. I don't know. Maybe that's not the good.
I like using that word.
You know,
a lot of these feminists ain't got common sense.
I think I'm a feminist, right? But I have common sense. I know, yes, Pete, I want for you to go throw out the trash. I don't want to be the trash person. I already fucking do laundry. So, yes, our work needs to be divided. I agree. Divide this motherfucking work because
I don't even know what I am, if I'm a feminist or not.
I don't like.
She's like, I'm just middle.
You know,
I don't know what I am.
And he said it's not even really a feminist. It's like he's like the problem is that people like use that word so loosely.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
what I'm
you know
saying.
what I'm saying?
I don't even know what it means
But
anymore.
y'all, he got him so good. He'd get him so good. I don't know if Pete told you about this guy. Man, what's his name? How do I see my last videos that I watched? Oh, your history,
Yeah.
right?
If you go to the bottom right, the very on the YouTube app, bottom right.
We're here,
Yeah,
library.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then at the very top are all your history.
History,
Swipe
yep,
up.
there you
Oh,
go.
okay.
You could, if it's really recent, it's on that top
Well,
bar.
Penny was on my damn iPhone.
Girl, I
So-
can't
okay, here
stand when I
it is.
say Aiden does that shit.
Kevin Samuels.
Okay.
is his name.
He was on the show?
He was on the show, and y'all, he got these women so good. It was like you can't argue. So her argument is women. It's not fair.
Real quick, was that the thumbnail that says you ain't got no brain?
This one is Kevin Samuel goes one-on-one versus career women.
Okay, never
Or
mind. I didn't see that
woman,
one.
Amanda. It's Fresh and Fit, not
Okay,
Fit
Fresh
and
and
Fresh.
Fit.
Fresh and Fit. And he was just getting them so good to where, okay, this is the example. He was like, y'all need us. No, I don't. You know, that was her thing. You don't. Yes, y'all do. She goes, but men don't need y'all. And so she was like, yes, y'all do. You know, and so they're arguing.
Who else is gonna tickle the balls?
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We need each other, bitch.
His point was like, we built this
Where's
this
Marissa's
world.
mic? Cut that shit off.
We built this world that y'all walk in, and that y'all. He says basically all these arguments that the feminists have are first world problem feminists. Like,
Oh, totally.
y'all are, you know, anywhere
Yeah.
else, it's legit a feminist movement because they have no rights and
Yeah,
they're
like
legit.
they're literally they can't even drive.
Exactly.
Like,
so
they-
those are legit.
they're being stoned. If the husband says they
Thank you. I was like, who just got shut off?
I
Marissa
turned
just got.
Marissa off.
He was gonna play the womp womp
Yeah.
womp.
You know what?
And he was just talking. So he said, he used an example. He was like, she was like, it ain't fair, right? It's just not fair. Because I really think I'm half man, half woman. Because, you know, I play the same game. He goes, oh, yeah, you do? Okay. Well, let me tell you something. Most men don't care about fairness. They don't care about fairness. You want fairness, then you're not thinking like a man. Because most men don't care about fairness. Most men go do whatever the fuck they're gonna go do
Trying to win.
and trying to win. They're not
Right.
gonna worry about is this fair or is it not fair. So proved her wrong there. So she was getting pissed and more pissed because nothing she argued. I hated to admit it, but none of her arguments were good. I wanted to be on her side, right? As a female, like I
Sure.
wanted to be like, I get what she's saying. Like, she's in I don't know what her job was. I haven't finished watching it, but it was like she's in I guess whatever. She's worked really hard in this man's world. Okay, I get it. But my argument is always this. Okay, we all live in a world that is kind of like that. But but you guys those who are for it, right? I mean, you're kind of allowing the men also who want to be women to be a part of our world, but yet we're sitting there fighting for all these rights, and we're allowing men to come into this world that's supposed to be only ours. And you're saying that it's okay.
All hail the patriarchy.
I can't take it.
So it's kind of like it's really silly if you think about a lot of these arguments that are out there. You see what I'm saying?
But why is it even an argument? Like, why is it even an argument?
Because so many
why do we
women are
care?
sitting there fighting about this feminist thing, but he gets them so good.
I mean,
So
you
he's-
don't need a man, but it's nice. It's got its perks.
I like we're
it.
humans. We need each other.
Yeah.
We need each other. I don't care how
it's
even if it's you need a person, even if you're with the same sex
That's what I'm
partner,
saying.
Right.
you need someone. So we're humans.
Yup.
Naturally we need someone. Stop saying you don't need someone, okay? Quit trying to be this
Babies don't survive if they don't have.
yeah,
the love
exactly.
in it.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's
you
just-
need someone.
yup,
Stop
it's
saying that
innate.
for one. That was so annoying when she kept saying, I don't need nobody. Okay, cool. I want to see how long you can go
You can
without.
make it alone,
Yeah,
bitch.
right.
you know what I'm saying? Before you don't need no one, you know? Even men, they may not need anyone permanently, but they still need that several hoes to come around, right?
That
I mean,
affection.
that
Oh, yeah.
affection to
Yeah.
come and do and tickle their balls, like Marissa
Tickle the
said, right?
balls. You gotta tickle
And
the
do whatever,
balls.
right, to come around. So it's like you can't use that. So that was that. So she was like, he's like, okay, so you don't think it's fair, right? I said, no. Okay, cool. Gave her the example of, so you're in Miami, ugly girl, pretty girl, but they let the pretty girl into the VIP. Is that fair? Well, why is that my fault that I'm pretty? Okay, we're talking about fairness here.
Yeah.
We're just speaking about fairness. Because he was trying to make a point that the world is not fair. It's just not
Life's not
fair.
fair.
Life
It's
is
not.
not fair. It
Right.
just isn't. So quit saying that it's fair. She got so pissed, y'all. She takes off her headphones
And walks
she
out.
walks off. She says, this is bullshit. And she just gets so mad. I'm like, okay. And then she goes, and that's why she's not a man. She's not half a man.
no
A
man
man
would've
doesn't
walked out.
get up and
Right.
And so they were
Even though there are some men that get up and walk
yeah,
off.
there are
That
some
is
men
true.
that
Like
wear
betas,
tampons.
Marissa.
Joe Budden,
Betas.
that is my guy, and he's drama. He's a drama.
Ah, dude, I
queen.
can't stand Joe Budden.
I like his assholeness, his pettiness.
The way
He's super petty.
He just fired his co-host on the
I know.
podcast.
Can you
What?
believe that? I've
Yeah.
been trying to. Okay, so these are the guys that I like: Charlemagne, Andrew Schultz,
All right,
Andrew Schultz.
Schultz, yes, but not.
Budden.
Budden, I can only do so much of him.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not gonna like everything about a person, but I like his little assholeness, and I like the assholeness about Joe Budden because I feel like I have that in me too. And so there's just like a little handful of people that I like, but they've always had kind of a beef for a long time. And then probably about 7 or 8 months ago, Joe Budden and Andrew Schultz had a thing. And then here recently, Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne were talking about all this shit that was going on with Joe Budden. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? So I'm trying to see what happened. And he fired
his two, Rory and the other
Rory
guy.
and Mal.
Yeah. So Joe Budden was like the guy on Spotify, right?
Yeah, for a long
For a long
time. He was
time.
one of the
He
first
was the
ones.
one-
And then
he was
the
the
new
first
Joe came.
And
Yeah.
then Joe Rogan went
Yeah.
on, and he was no longer
Yup.
the exclusive guy. So Joe Budden kind of paved the way for exclusive Spotify deals, and then they gave Rogan this huge deal, right? So he took everything off and went to Patreon, started a Patreon subscription
didn't know
service.
he did that.
Yeah, so now his whole empire's building on Patreon. Well, his co-host wanted to take a hiatus, wanted to take a break because they weren't, it's like financial things. Like they wanted to have equity in the podcast because, we did this all together, right?
Yeah.
And Joe Budden, being the Joe Budden that he is, was
But
like,
that's
y'all ain't
him, though.
nothing. This show is me. You can be happy with the paycheck I'm giving you, blah, blah, blah. You're in violation of your contract. You know what? You're fired. Both of them. Fires them in the middle of the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
So now there's like
So
contractual
did you see
issues.
that actual podcast?
I saw the clip. I didn't watch the podcast.
Wait,
Okay.
is that legal?
Well, that's the thing now. Like now it's like, all right, well now there's legal ramifications. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's craziness.
So
but
send
but
me-
there's drama princesses
Men-
who are men too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who wear
That's what I'm
tampons.
saying.
But Joe Budden's the original Mr. Independent, Mr. Get away from the big labels. You need to own your IP and intellectual property.
And I do respect him for that.
Yes, but now his guys wanted to have ownership in that IP, and he said no.
Yeah.
How fucking
Yeah.
hypocritical is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see both sides too, but I could see where he came from because it's his name.
Totally get it. Yeah,
So,
I see both sides as well.
I see both sides. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. He's got that little pettiness, that little, you know what I'm saying?
That's
and
how
I
you
feel
win.
that.
Yeah.
And the example was like people were saying like, look at Michael Jordan, look at LeBron, Kobe, Joe Budden. They want to win. They ain't trying to make friends. They're not trying to. It's just like
And
this
Joe
is.
Budden has always been very upfront about that.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, I ain't here to make no motherfucking friends. I'm here to make money and get the fuck on
Yeah.
with my life.
Yeah.
And those are just, certain things you just got to respect about people, even though you don't like them for whatever. There's just, but he's a drama princess. You know what he is. He's a drama queen. And that's what I'm saying.
I don't mind him. I like him.
Even though there's
Pete used to
girls who
listen
are
to him.
dramatic, there are some guys that can be a little bit
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
dramatic
for
too,
sure.
boo.
I've
I'm
met a
just
few.
saying, where,
Or even
I'm just
too
saying.
emotional. Have you ever met a guy who's like, I'm like, wait, bitch, who is who here in the relationship?
Oh God.
I'm like, this is too much. Like, you don't need to express every emotion you're feeling to me.
Go
Seriously.
away.
Like, maybe females in the past have wanted you to do that, but I just don't. Like, I just don't. My mom has always said, oh, you think the world is just pretty and pink? No, I don't think that, but I just liked for it to stay pink as much as possible.
Marisol's
You know?
mom's a savage, man.
I
It's hardcore.
I just want it to be pink as much as possible. Because sometimes she'll call me and she'll be like, Gorda. I'm like, what? She's like, guess who has cancer? I'm like, oh my God, here we go. I'm like, that's what you're calling me for? I was like, I don't want to know, Ma. I said, because now I'm going to think about it. I'm going to be like, oh, that's awful. Let me text them.
Yeah.
And, I don't even know what to say now. You know what I'm saying? It's like now it's on my mind. I'm thinking about it. And usually my mom will call to tell me that when she gets off of work, which is almost 9 p.m.
Right.
So now I'm going to bed with
thinking about it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
CBD and that's bad dream central.
it's just like sometimes I just don't
I don't
want
want
to
hear
deal
it.
with it. You know
You're
what I'm
calling,
saying?
and I'm like, no, thanks.
Yeah.
That's my mom too. She's
Oh,
Yeah.
she's always got the gossip, and I'm like, come on, like,
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
it's
Did she call, do you have
draining.
other siblings?
Yeah, so I have my biological sister who's a year and 9 months younger than me, and then
Okay.
I have a god sister. So when I refer to my parents, it's my godparents. They're the ones that help raise me and stuff like that. So my biological parents, I don't have anything to do with.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but I don't. Okay, that's a whole nother
Girl, get
podcast.
That's
into
another
it.
episode.
Get
That's a
into
whole-
it,
Yeah, that's
girl.
a whole episode.
whole nother podcast.
We can turn this into a trauma podcast real
girl,
quick.
y'all know.
Marissa will be at the helm of that.
I definitely have trauma.
I am
but,
here for it.
So my godmother is, she's the one who my kids call Granny. My godfather's one that the kids call Pawpaw. That's how it is. But yeah, so I have two sisters, and great, we all get along. But I'm the closest to my mom.
Yeah.
Even outside of her biological daughter, we're all close, but we talk every day. My mom and I, and if I don't call her, she's like, "What's wrong? Texting me. Are you okay?"
Every day, guys.
Every day. And so, and it's
I kind of talk to my mom
I've
every
gotten
day.
to the point.
Every day, Marisol.
I've gotten to the
Yeah, or a text.
Yeah, I text her at least,
My mama
all day.
don't call me. No. I'm just saying.
But you don't call your mama either.
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, exactly. So, you get to the point, and I've gotten to the point where I'm kind of like, oh God, I hope she doesn't listen to this, but I'm like trying to like distance, because it's like, it's too much,
Yeah.
it's just like constant, and like, Robin's always like, we don't have to tell her everything that goes on. So I'm like trying to like, not disassociate, but just like,
There's got to be boundaries.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm really trying to establish boundaries, in all aspects of my life with people. And it's just like, one of them is that, it's like, okay, I have my family and this is my business. And it's just like, I don't need you running off and telling all your church friends, oh, they're praying for you. Like, cool, that's great. But they don't need to know my fucking business.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need
damn.
them to know that,
Yeah.
It's just like, so yeah. it's
Not
just-
every little thing that happens on your roof should be told to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't be telling my mom
Yeah.
and usually my mom and I's conversation mostly when she calls, it's really just to see Penny. She don't really want to fuck with me. She'll say how
She's like, can I FaceTime with my
yeah,
granddaughter?
exactly.
That's cool.
She'll
Yeah.
say, ¿Cómo estás? Bien. Oh, okay. ¿Y la niña?
Yeah,
Like, she's
exactly.
right here. And then
that's
she's like,
great,
oh,
though.
she's like, can I FaceTime her? I'm like, sure. And then,
Exactly.
and then she'll
Yeah.
FaceTime and then they'll talk and then we'll just kind of shoot the shit. It'll be real simple. But when she doesn't FaceTime, I know she's calling me to chit chat about something else. And I'll just look and I'll be like,
Do I have 30 minutes right now to spare?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, what is
30
this gonna
minutes.
be about? Because
Yeah, right, an
I don't know what this we're finna talk about. But my mom's real good about not being in our business.
Yeah,
My mom
right.
doesn't come over. Like she doesn't just pop up.
That's my mom. We
Well,
talked
it's
about
different.
this.
You know, my mom's single. You know, this is the first time in her life. She's 56, something like that. That she's been on her own. She's always
wow.
been with somebody. So
Yeah.
she's like, she lives alone. She just got a dog. So she's like, you know, she's happy with that. But like, she's just lonely. You know,
Yeah.
she's got autoimmune disorder. So she's been, you know, quarantined.
So she
herself
needs a
and-
boo.
She needs some dick for real.
Amen.
You know, she's like,
it works wonders, girl.
I've you know gotten on Match and you know seen it. I'm like, you signed up for it? She's like, no, I just get like little texts. I'm like, that's not for real. She's like, yeah, but these guys are like, I still wants kids. She's like, I don't want no. And I'm like, oh, you were looking at the wrong people. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
she
my
needs
mom's
a
boyfriend
different app.
is her neighbor. She don't want you to live. She don't want you to live with him. Her. She's cool with not living with. She
Woo,
just
that
That's
is
her
the
real
best
boyfriend?
setup ever.
legit. It's her neighbor.
Oh wow.
That
But
is
like
the
were they
best
neighbors
setup.
before? Or
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They were neighbors
Oh, what if he
before.
just moved?
I know that's what I was
next
thinking. I was
door?
like, oh, he just moved
no.
next
They were
door.
neighbors before,
Okay.
but my mom had never. They bumped in. Actually, what happened was I think her fence was starting to fall, and so he kind of said, "Hey."
Slid on in.
Damn,
let me
he
fix
sure
that
the fuck
fence.
did.
And
Yes, he
one
did.
day I call my mom. This is funny, y'all. I call my mom and I'm like, "Oh, what are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, my neighbors over here. We're talking about who's going to pay for which side, because you know how that's always an issue
Right,
when you
who's gonna
share
pay
this
for what
damn
side of the fence. Right.
So she was like, "I'm like, oh, okay." I said, "Awkward." She goes, "Yeah, I'll call you later," and I was like, "Okay." So she said that conversation turned into 2 a.m. They shared a glass of
All
wine.
right. All right.
And did he
I
pay
was
for the
like-
whole thing?
And I was like, he did.
Go, Mama.
Get it,
She's
mom.
paying back in another way. you know
Hey,
what I'm saying?
right? And I was like, Mom, that's
Ain't nothing in
weird.
this
Why are
world
you
for free,
talking to
baby.
exactly? That's what P says. Nothing's free. Beware of the free lunch.
Yup.
So she goes, I said, why was your neighbor there? She goes, he's really nice. So I used to live at my mom's house, but I don't even remember what this person looked like.
So he's been there the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I've not lived with my mom in a long time,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? Like
Same neighbor though.
Yeah, same neighbor. And I was like, what neighbor? So I was picturing an older man because
Let's find out he's 30.
no, he's not 30.
40s.
My mom is going to be 60, so he might be 50.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Mama.
Not
yeah.
that bad.
No.
He's good looking. I'm not going to say he's not. I'd hate to say that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because it's
Right,
kind of weird. But he's good looking. He's into the gym, into CrossFit. So my mom does not like older, like granny looking men. She just
So
doesn't
it's a
do
young
it.
silver fox.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, but their relationship is so weird. I always tell them, like, I don't get your relationship, but whatever. At least
Whatever works for you.
somebody's
Right.
occupying your time. So, you know what I'm saying? I just want you to be happy. So if this is, because I asked him, like, don't you want, like, I don't know, don't you want somebody, like, to wake up with? She goes, he's
No.
my neighbor.
Hell no. But
was like,
make me
look over the
coffee and I'll walk
fence.
Yeah.
over there.
What?
Yeah, right.
He's
I'm
like
like-
Wilson in Home Improvement.
She's like, he's my
Howdy-ho.
neighbor.
Howdy-ho.
I was like,
my God.
I know, but like legit in your house, Ma. She goes, well, that's going to be weird. So who's going to decide to sell whose house or rent out whose house? And she's like, because I like my house. And I was like, so you don't like his house? He's like, well, I think my house is better. And, and I was like, okay. So I just sometimes just have to end the conversation because it just kind of gets weird.
Yeah.
Because
You
it's
just
just a
don't
weird
understand it, yeah.
conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
you
it's
know
kinda-
they're doing the cochinada.
Yeah, exactly. And I just
And
don't
you
wanna
just don't
picture
want to
it.
envision it.
I don't
No.
at all.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, thanks
so-
for saying it like that, Marissa.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it is what it is.
That's so funny.
But I get it. But my mom is different. Like we talk, but it's usually just, are you good? I'm good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Same.
I'm trying to
Texting-
get to that spot.
and honestly, my mom doesn't call again unless it's
Something's going
too
on. Yeah.
long of a conversation to say via text, or she wants to see my Penny.
Right.
But
Yeah.
other than that, my mom does not like to talk on the phone. She legit wants to text you.
That's
And
awesome.
sometimes if I'm getting confused. I'm like, can I just call you? She's like, which part did you not understand? Like, she'll
She's
legit,
like, "No, I'm good.
like, which
I'm
part?
good."
Yeah, that's my mom learned how to text, and that was it for her. She does not want to talk to you. Like,
That's my
Appreciate
dad
that.
though. My dad, I can go months without talking to my dad or just text him every once in a while, and he's
Uh-huh.
just like, cool, whatever. Even like there was a period of time where I lived with him when I was transitioning houses and stuff, and he was like, not in my business. We lived in the same house, less than maybe 2,000 square feet or whatever, and literally, he was just like, oh, you good? Okay, good. You gonna have dinner? Okay, cool. You know, like, and I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I like my privacy and,
Yup.
you know, whatever. He's just cool.
Yeah, I appreciate that my mom isn't like that, to be honest with you. I don't know how it'd be if I had a mom all up in my mix. That'd be kind of hard.
Overwhelming.
That's got to be hard. Pete's family's not all up in our mix either.
That's good.
But I also don't want to live near anyone. Like, I don't want to live near his family, and I don't want to live near my mom either.
Yeah.
Even though I guarantee you, like 100% guarantee, money back guarantee, even if my mom lived 4 houses down,
You would.
She still wouldn't
I
come
would
over?
still not see her.
Hell no, she'd be in the neighbor's house.
Good one, Don. Good one.
That's how
She's
Rob's
just-
family though, and like we don't see them. I mean, like he goes out there maybe once a month, once every
Yeah.
other week, but like they are not. And like literally, he's like, I'm gonna tell my mom to come over and tell you how to make tortillas and
her salsa and all that.
whatever. And his mom's like, no, what if we're all busy? And he's like, I'm inviting you over. Why
Yeah.
would I be busy? She's like, no, I don't want to. You know,
I'll just keep making y'all stuff.
we live 30 minutes closer now to his parents,
still
they
haven't
haven't still
been
been to
over.
see the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a while before my mom came to see my my house.
That's
I was
so
like,
funny.
Does she live far from here?
Mom was in Cyprus.
Oh yeah, that is hard. That's a
okay.
hike.
All right.
And
yeah.
I don't like going over there with Penny because my mom likes really like nice things and like things that break.
Oh,
You know what I'm
shit.
saying?
Yeah, it's not child
And so I'm just every time I go there, like when we went for, I think it was Christmas or Thanksgiving, she wanted us to come over. She's like, my mom goes all out for Christmas. Christmas is her favorite time to decorate, and she does like a whole like neighborhood and
Oh,
sets it
wow.
up. And she goes, I really want for Penny to come see that. I'm like, I'm really nervous that she come over. I was like, because I just feel like something's going to get broken, and I just don't want to hear it. Because some of the items, because my mom's a traveler, some of those
Right.
items come from like another country. And when is she going to go there again? I don't know, right? But now, how do I replace it?
You don't. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Marissa was like, y'all can come over to my place. I ain't got nothing over $2. You can break it all.
$2 shit here and there.
That's so funny.
Y'all can come and break everything.
So I'm always like, because she'll be like, you live so far. I'm like, I know, you live really far too. And I'm like, and second of all, I was like, I don't ever want to go to your house because I'm afraid Penny's going to break something. You know what I'm saying? At my house, if she breaks it, well, then she breaks it. It's my house. I don't
Right.
care. You know what I'm saying? I said, but at your house, there's like shit from Europe and
Right.
places that a lot of people ain't never been. And so what do I do if she breaks it? She's like, well, then she breaks it. I'm like,
That's
Yeah,
not
you
how
say
it-
that
yeah.
now.
And then when Penny gets old enough, you'll have baby. So then it's just, you know.
Yeah,
it's like a
and so then
catch-22,
I'm like,
'cause when
I'm
the
just-
kids get older, it's a lot easier, man.
she's getting pretty good though. She what is the word in English? She's not tentona. Like she's never been one to like go grab things. Like she's not curious.
Yeah.
Right.
She's never been like that. And I think it's because it was warned to
Right.
her as a baby always. So
Don't do that.
Even
Yeah.
when she was at my mom's house, she would say, "¿Qué es eso?" And she would just point at it. "¿Qué es eso?" And my mom would tell her what it is. And oh, okay.
And she was
And then
good.
that was it. So that's all. And then sometimes she just wants to touch it and then walk off.
See, with the twins, it was one
Yep.
finger touch. You're allowed to touch with one finger, and then they were good. So even like Christmas trees, because you know people are like, "Oh, I can't have this with my toddlers at Christmas." Like, "Oh fuck, I can." I'm
Yeah.
like, one finger touch, you can touch and walk away, and they were good with that. You know,
Yeah.
it's just it's how you teach them.
Yeah, I
you
think
know?
so, too. It's
you
like
teach your
it's-
kids they can run up your Christmas tree. They're gonna run up your Christmas tree. It's gonna be on the floor and all over the place. You know, but
My babysitter
I
be
gotta
trying
do
to
better with my parenting.
it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
We're just trying our best not to raise
That's
little assholes.
someone sent me a message when I posted that parenting is different for everybody. You know, motherhood. They're like, you know what? What she said? She goes, she sent me a whole DM about it, and basically she was saying like it was so like good to feel. It felt so good. Someone else said like, we don't all have to parent the same. She goes, I can't stand judgy parents, and I just thought about it, and I was like, we are some judgy motherfuckers, aren't we?
Mom
We
shaming,
are,
you know,
right?
that
we
stuff
do
is-
it.
Dude, but I
like
saw some crazy shit not that long ago.
She's like,
By saw, you mean
It was
experienced?
like, I guess it was, you call it like helicopter mom maybe, but it was more like if they're little, one is like 5 and the other one's like 2 or 3, I don't fucking know. And it was like, one of them dropped the milk. It's like, see what you did? Oh my God. And then like, no, you can only have 2 chips. And no, it was like for every single thing.
She's
It
not
was- that's not-
frustrated.
Yeah,
That's
that
not
kid is a
helicopter mom.
burden.
That's
That's a mad mom.
She was like a drill sergeant, and
Oh, no.
and I was just like, I can't judge because I'm not the perfect parent.
But imagine how those kids are gonna
But
grow up.
even like with Aiden, when he makes a mistake or he drops something, I'm just like, go get the napkin, go get the
Right.
towel, go get the towel. You can't be like, see what you did, look at what you did. Oh my God! And it was just like, it was a bit much. And even when like it was over,
It didn't even hurt your feelings. You're
Yeah,
like,
she's like, she was
God.
crying.
dude. Even right,
For
and
the fifth time.
even when it was over, Michael Madre's like, dude, I almost said something, and I was like, well, I'm glad that you didn't, because it was a lot, dude. It was intense, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to raise like perfect children, but
There's no such
nobody's
thing.
fucking perfect. It's like,
No.
you're not perfect, so your kids are not going to be perfect. It's okay.
No, they're
for
gonna
them to
be
make,
scared.
It's
and-
okay for them to make a mistake. Like it's okay
Right.
for them not to like
When
eat all of it right now, and you're not gonna have any chips. And for me, it's kind of like, look, if Aiden gets full on chips, we'll just take his food home and just eat the shit later.
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of people aren't like that, and I get it, but that's just how I roll. But
you
it
have
was,
to pick,
it was
or
it
you
was
just
a
have to
bit
choose your
much.
battles
Exactly.
sometimes. Sometimes
That's
it's
kinda
like-
how I
it's not
feel.
worth it. It's not worth it. Like I don't fight with my kids over food. Rob and I, we
was
just don't
intense.
do that. Like
Yeah, I do because I want for Penny to eat real food. Like
Yeah,
she
of
can't be
course,
on
of
no
course.
damn snacks all day long, man. It's
it
like
happens though. I mean, like
it's like at some point you got to eat something, and you can't live off
Yeah.
of papas fritas too. Like Jesus, she wants air fried. I air fry them. You know what I'm saying? But she wants French fries all the time, French fries or pizza. So I tried to do the cauliflower pizza with her, try to trick her, right?
Girl,
so she
it
wouldn't
doesn't
have
taste
it.
the same.
Not even close.
It does- I tried to,
cauliflower
y'all.
I mean,
pizza.
I like it, but it's not even close to like.
have you had sweet potato
I can
pizza?
stomach
No.
it, but
Is that
they
even-
won't.
is that
Sweet
better?
potato crust. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Sweet potato
I'll
crust?
have to try
I'll
that.
send you the recipe. It's sweet potato crust, girl.
Oh wait, I
and
can't
it's
get it
good.
made already.
You
No,
probably could.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
Because
It's
they-
real easy. You just put the sweet potato in the what is
Flour?
that thing? In the God damn it.
Bullet
Well, yeah, the mixer,
mixer,
thing.
the
that
fucking blender.
Got
blender
it.
thing.
Okay.
What is it called?
Ninja.
Grinder. Ninja. Yeah, and then you just get it real thin, and I think you mix it with almond flour or something. I don't know, but it's legit the best pizza crust that I've had.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Send it to Marisol.
Depending how
I'll get
how
you
in the
number.
mood
I'll
I am, I'll make the crust, or I'll buy the one from HEB where
The cauliflower or whatever it is.
Cauliflower is good.
I'm not sure what brand it is. Is that what it is?
Cauliflower is good.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
they
I
have good
said-
chicken too. Sorry,
Yeah.
chicken
Yeah?
breast, like cauliflower breaded chicken,
Chicken breast. Those are good. The
Spicy ones,
Interesting.
bro.
What?
They're good.
HEB?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
they're
gotta
pretty
try that.
macro friendly.
Yeah, they are.
What?
Yeah.
I gotta try that.
They're expensive because you don't get that
Well,
many.
yeah, the
but-
cauliflower pizza is expensive too. I was looking,
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this cauliflower pizza more expensive than this? It's the
I
same
know.
shit, man. Doesn't make sense.
No.
It just was really like too much. Sometimes I just be getting mad, but
Isn't it funny how like healthy eating is more expensive?
well, hey,
mean, it's just
so
like-
so I know people are gonna think I'm crazy. I know. Okay, but listen,
Good setup.
I only like the maple syrup that is like legit maple syrup, and it costs $15.49.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's like legit maple syrup.
It's
from-
like
Yeah.
real legit.
Not
Comes
like-
in the
It, just,
glass.
it came from the tree.
Not Hill
Just
Country Fair, like
straight, not
H-E-B.
processed or
So
nothing.
I was jumping in I was trying to. Pete and I are really working on ending the day so that there's legit quality time together versus hurry up. Let's try to spend at
Yeah.
least an hour before going to bed, right?
Yeah.
And so then, anyway, so I said, hey, I still have to order groceries. Can I jump in the shower? You order them. And then I said, but don't click place order until I get out the shower.
Girl,
so
he clicked place
no, he
order."
didn't. So he's looking at this list and he obviously gets the cheaper.
The HEB brand.
Yes. No, it's actually by the Kodak people.
Kodak.
Oh, what is it? The
Kodiak.
Kodiak pancakes. Those. There
girl,
you
I
go.
just had some of those this morning.
Okay, so it's their syrup, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is. I said, we don't eat this syrup, and he's like,
we don't do that here.
and he was like, why? I said, because this is the kind that we get. He's like, I know, and it's $15. I was like, I know, but our children eat it like it's candy. So it's like you also have to pick that battle. Do I
Yeah.
give them garbage
Right.
or do I give them like legit ingredients
Yep.
to where it's like, okay, I get it. You want to eat the syrup. At least I don't feel bad that
Yep.
you're eating
Diabetes
shitty-
comes cheap
Exactly,
these days.
you know?
It sure
So then
does.
it's and you know, and even with with those Kodiak what do you call it, protein pancakes,
Right.
I have to add, you know, to trick both of them because Mickey and Penny are picky eaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I add some regular to the Kodiak.
Oh, you do? I don't add, but what I do is I add chocolate chips. Like
Shit,
and
we just
so-
get the chocolate chip pancakes.
What are the boxes that we get? Nature's.
Nabisco.
No.
Oh,
the one-
Nature's Path, Nature's Valley.
Nature's
Yeah.
Valley. Oh,
Those are good.
So
the
good.
buckwheat
Yeah?
berry. Yeah, and they're macro friendly too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
excuse me. So I'll make those because then I don't feel like, okay, well, y'all can go ahead and put strawberries and whatever
Right.
y'all want, but at least
Cocoa
there's
whip.
some protein in there.
Right.
Excuse me, so that I don't feel like y'all are just eating garbage, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
So he was like, okay, well then get whatever you think you need to get then. I was like, okay. I was like, when I
Thanks.
She went and redid the
Thanks.
whole list.
Yeah, right.
because it's just there's just some things you can't buy cheap, and there's just
Yeah.
some things you just have to make the little extra effort to spend the money on. When I first met y'all, when I'm telling y'all, I'm frugal, but Chingo's even more frugal. My husband's
Yeah.
even more frugal. I would only buy, all right, what is it called? Bison ground beef. That's it. I would
Yeah.
only buy because it was the most lean and you know,
It was grass-fed.
It
A
was
good bison
grass
burger is
fed.
delicious.
Bison burgers are delicious. It was just so good. But obviously, it's like $12.99 for
a
the little
little
pack, right? And you don't
Yup.
get much out of it. And at that time, I was meal prepping. So for me, it was like, you can eat the regular kind.
Yeah,
'cause
right.
You're not prepping, so why should
You're
we
not
have to
eating my-
share this food, right?
got
That was
your
kind of
own
my
meat.
thing. I was like, I'm gonna buy you those. I'll buy you sirloin. It's still 90%.
Yeah,
you know. So I'm
right.
like, all right, let's do it. So then when he went to the grocery store and he realized how much the bison meat was, he came back with only the sirloin ground beef, and I said, "Hey, where's
So
my
he
bison?"
said, "Fuck this, I'm taking this."
He's like, "Do you know how much the bison?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "So you spend that every time you go to the grocery store?" I said, "Yeah." He was like, "That's a lot of money for barely any meat. Do you see how many ounces of meat?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah" to every question. And then it got to the point where now there's other children in the house, you know?
Right.
So now it's like sirloin is what I have. So I only do sirloin ground. At least it's still
It's still
it's still
good.
good. It's still better
Right.
than the ground beef, but it's crazy because there's just certain things I just like to
Yeah.
spend a little bit. I'll make the effort. I'm okay
Yep.
with not having other things as long as these things are
Okay.
okay, you know.
Right.
That's why when we go grocery shopping and Mickey, it's our turn to have Mickey. I hate it because I buy stuff that she likes and she eats a lot of like stuff that we don't eat in the house, and then she leaves and guess what happens to it?
It's there and then we eat
And no, it just goes bad because no one eats
okay.
it.
Yeah.
So now it's like a waste of money, and you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm throwing it away and then I'm buying it all over again until she comes back. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I hate. So I usually try to find like alternatives to whatever she likes that are healthier, and then I'll kind of sneak in some stuff in there to make it sweet,
Just
like
to
she
trick
likes
her.
it. Yeah, and then it'll be like, I really liked this. I'm like, yes, I'm so
and
glad
that's
you
what you have
liked
to
it.
do. You have to sneak it to them.
Yeah.
You have to.
What's a guilty pleasure for y'all? Maybe for listeners, like what's a guilty pleasure, like you said, that you'll spend a little bit more on right now at this point in your life, and we can go around the table.
For me, it's eggs.
What kind of eggs you buy?
Cage-free eggs,
Yep,
like
cage-free.
no hormone. Like I really roam free. Like I pay attention to everything that it
Yep.
says on there.
Okay.
Do you ever go to the farmer's
But
market?
it's not like it's a
It's
pleasure.
hard. Like I try to go to.
Like it's a what?
I said it's not like it's a pleasure. I buy the cage free because I know I got to. We don't do dairy anymore. I don't know. I just try to buy the good shit.
I try to stay away from frozen vegetables.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't get to cook them immediately, so
They go bad.
so
Yeah,
then they go bad.
I hate when that
so then I
happens.
end up buying frozen vegetables, and then I hate the taste
taste.
of thawing them out,
Yeah.
and then you cook them. They don't have the same flavor as in. So sometimes what I do is if I know for a fact that evening I want to have broccoli, I will legit go earlier in the day and go buy the broccoli and then
Right.
cook it that same night.
Nothing goes bad faster for us than vegetables.
We don't
Yes.
eat vegetables.
Yeah.
I mean, we're horrible.
hard.
Like, I'll eat green beans, but I've realized lately I can't. My stomach doesn't handle them. I can't eat broccoli. I can't eat cauliflower. Sweet potatoes bothered me the other day.
Yeah.
My stomach is just jacked up. I blame it on all the
But
years
you
of-
just found out you have got all this. You did a bunch of
oh, yeah. So I had
testing,
well,
right? This is cool. This is
this-
something I'd like to
I
do.
did the allergy testing, I guess about 3 years ago.
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Right after I came off of prep and stuff like that, and found out I'm allergic to dairy. I don't have a intolerance. I'm actually allergic
I
alpha,
don't
beta,
think people
and whey.
are supposed to be drinking cow milk
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Whey protein,
The
so I can't have
pasteurized and
any of the whey
homogenized.
stuff.
No.
So any of your protein bars, any of your protein powders, anything.
Yeah.
Like the
You
Kodiak
don't eat it
cakes, I
anyway.
can't have that
Oh, okay.
because of the protein. So we do animal protein now. That's amazing, or plant protein.
Yeah.
mostly animal protein. But
If she eats one thing, literally,
I
guys,
can eat a Cheez-It.
one
and
Cheez-It
I break out.
and just breaks out. Stomach
Goldfish
starts
are
to
good.
hurt.
Just saying.
For some
But-
reason, goldfish is okay, but one Cheez-It will
yeah,
fuck her up.
Doritos, anything like that. You know, anything
Yeah.
cheesy. And it's just, I already have bad rosacea, but it flares up and it's pimples and it's just not worth it.
Wow.
And digestion, like I can eat yogurt, Greek yogurt. I don't fucks with milk at all. And any I
Not
can
even
do
the oat milk or nothing.
no, I do almond milk. Yeah,
okay.
as
But
long
you're
as
talking about cow
Yeah,
milk.
cow milk.
Yeah.
No. And
Yeah.
the kids drink cow milk, but other than that, no. But I also had a gastrointestinal scare, I guess you could say, probably about a year ago.
Yeah.
And I had to go on like a FODMAP diet, so I had to get rid of garlic, onion, all your seasonings. Any spicy and certain fruits and vegetables. And I did that and I eliminated it for about 6 months and I've gradually been able to introduce it back, but there's no garlic powder, onion powder in our house. There's some seasonings that we use, but it would just basically, I would get such a sharp pain. I mean, I would have to lay down. I would be almost crying.
Yup.
And it was right when COVID hit. I was supposed to do like a scope and have all this stuff done, and I was in the hospital and I was by myself. It was so scary and
That was
it
so
just freaked-
annoying.
It was, yeah,
I had to leave there overnight.
Oh, and he
'Cause
was,
he couldn't be there with him?
he couldn't be there with me. But like when I did my my MRI or ultrasound or whatever, they found one of my small intestines was inflamed, and my gastro guy called me and he was like, well, I had a patient where it had the same exact things and it was cancer. So literally he made me.
Okay, you didn't scare. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
He literally made me
Just
drive
casually.
to the ER that night and he was like, I want you to get checked. And so then, the doctor that I saw was like, no, everything came back clear on the other one that I did. So it was just adjusting my diet. And so now I'm just very conscientious of what I eat.
Yeah.
So it's
Oof.
usually just literally we eat chicken every day, chicken and potatoes, and then some green beans, asparagus.
Okra.
Yeah, okra.
Yeah.
I do okra. But other than that, yeah, we're
Doctors be
simple.
throwing that phrase around a little too really.
yeah,
don't they?
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
come on,
It's
man.
I
scary.
know.
Well, and it scared me. I was like, shit, I can't wait. He's like, yeah, it could be aggressive, and I'm like, ah! Freaking out.
Yup.
So,
Wow.
but yeah,
I was
just
so
adjust-
confident she didn't have cancer that I was mad at the doctor immediately for even suggesting it. I was
Yeah.
like, now we gotta adjust our entire day, go to a fucking emergency room.
Yeah, and it was.
I can't be
horrible.
with you, so then I gotta
Yeah.
drive there, and then I gotta drive back
And
Shirley,
it
and then I go
wasn't
back.
local either. It was
No,
like
it was like it was in the Heights.
In the Heights, yeah, it was Heights
Son of
Memorial,
a bitch. I was
like-
Memorial Herman Heights. But yeah, anyway, after all that, it was like, okay, we're gonna clean our shit up
Yeah.
and do
Yeah.
better. And here recently, just in the last 6 weeks, Rob and I have really cleaned up our diet. We've both lost like 10 pounds. It's
Yeah.
been great,
Yeah, and
but
you
it's
have
just
to.
getting
We're
like.
trying to get back to where we were when we met each other.
Yeah, I was, I put on a good
You
40
get comfy.
pounds.
Shit happens.
Comfy
Yeah.
is a little different. When you uncomfortable in your clothes, it ain't comfy no
Yeah,
more.
right.
I know
So
that's
we're
right.
just trying to get back, and my biological mother is diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's, and she's progressive. Like she's 71 now, and she's reverted back to a childhood stage. She's violent now. She's being real aggressive, and so
I heard them linking animal protein to dementia.
all kinds of. I mean, I told Rob, and I think this is a big reason subconsciously why I just really kicked it into high gear in the last 6 weeks is because if my brain is strong and my body feels strong, I feel like it's all connected. You know what I
it
mean?
is, yep.
We just heard. I just heard a research study that was like resistance training can actually reverse.
The only thing shown
the
to
only
reverse
thing shown
dementia.
to reverse, dementia and Alzheimer's, and I'm like, well, fuck, I lift, okay, cool, I'm good, my brain's gonna be strong, I'm gonna do this, and so I don't want to do that. I want to be as strong as I can for my kids, as healthy as I can for my
Yep.
kids,
And that's what I was gonna write that yesterday on the post that I put with me working out. I was going to say, but I knew that there was going to be someone to make a smart
Haters.
comment, right? But legit, I work out because I want to live longer for my
your babies.
children.
100%.
Like
it's
it
not
has-
about me anymore.
it not- I already went. I already did my competitions. Like I already
Right.
did what I wanted to do for me. Now it's beneficial for me because now I'm an older parent. I didn't
Yeah.
have my children in my 20s
Right.
or as a teen. I waited a very long time to have my
Right.
children. So obviously, I want to stay around longer because I want to be able to witness a lot more things. You know what I'm saying? That I'm afraid of if I don't take care of my health.
Yeah.
The podcast that Marissa sent about the autism and how they're saying it's not related to vaccines, right? One of the things that I loved about Rogan is
Was
that
how he pressed him about being
pressed
healthy.
him about being healthy. And
Yup.
he's like, all you're doing is injecting chemicals. You should think about, because Rogan is really big on his probiotics. You know,
Oh,
he
he-
does
All the
tests,
vitamins,
everything,
yeah.
all his vitamins. Here's what's funny. My babysitter said the other day, "Are you supposed to be taking all those vitamins?" I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah.
I told you she has too much of an opinion.
I said, "Yep." I said, "You should take vitamins too." She goes, "No, I'm good. The doctor's already checked me. I went to get my checkup." And I was like, "I
But
know, but you
still.
don't understand." And I was like, "Your checkup has nothing to do with you taking
Your vitamin
supplements."
intake,
right.
I said, "That's separate." I was like, "Great, everything is good with you, but you still need this." And so I was trying to explain to her. She didn't get it. Well, now it was her checkup again because she does have high blood pressure, so she has to get checked. So she went again. She said, "Hey, they said I'm low on iron." And so she's like telling me all these things. She goes, "So they're going to start giving me vitamins." And I just smiled. I said,
Got 'em.
"Here's my iron.
Yeah, right.
Here's my omega." So I'm
Here's
like
my
doing
fish
this.
oils,
So I'm
right.
like showing her all my vitamins. And I said, "Do you see why I take them?" I said, "They're super important." I said, "It has
Right.
nothing to do with what your doctor tells you. This is an additional thing for you to keep." I said, "Exercise. I know you think I'm crazy that I still go to the gym right now, as big as I am." I was like, "But you have no idea. I sit still and my ankles look like
Right.
I have elephantitis.
Yeah.
Like
It's good for you.
I cannot sit." I said, "But do you know the benefits?" Because she's like, "Oh, your baby's probably moving around a lot in there." And she's like telling me all these things. And she's like, "Have you ever thought about maybe the cord, because you're moving so much, can wrap around the neck?" And I was like,
No, I never thought about that, but thanks.
I swear that thought this is my second pregnancy, and legit, I never even once thought about the cord wrapping around their neck. Like, what? So then I'm like,
Can that happen?
Can that happen? So then I'm thinking
then
about.
you're
I'm like,
Googling it,
Yeah,
get
right.
on
I'm like,
YouTube.
I'm not gonna let her.
I thought that happened during birth.
Nah,
Yes.
it happens.
It can happen. It can
sometimes.
happen
Kept in
in
utero,
belly.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, working out while you're pregnant is good for
it does so.
you.
So-
And
it, like,
nobody says that. No doctor
Well,
says
I
that.
CrossFit till I was 7.5 months pregnant, and I went on bed rest not because I worked out, but because
You were
I was pregnant with
twins,
twins, and
yeah.
I was super petite. I had high blood pressure, whatever. I was at the gym the day that I went into labor, coaching still CrossFit. You know what I mean? Like it was, and I'm not a big advocate of CrossFit now. It was great. It helped me get back into fitness and all that. And I'm not bashing it by any means, but like it kept me moving. It kept me healthy. It kept me from, everything. You just keep moving. Like, why wouldn't you not want to do that? And I think that my kids were premature, but they're healthy. They're
They were
strong.
healthy.
Like,
Yep.
you know what? There's a reason why they only spent 7 days in the NICU at,
but it's also very beneficial for the baby when you work
Yeah,
out.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
health wise, like
Yeah.
Brain function.
brain function.
Yeah.
Their heart is so much stronger than a mother who
Blood
didn't work
flow.
out. Yeah, everything. There's so many benefits. That's why I listed them one day. I told Pete, I was like, I never do one of these like long ass things. I'm like, but I'm tired of people
Judging.
always saying like, should you be doing this, or when I was first pregnant with Penny, I used to always hashtag midwife approve, doctor approve, because
Exactly.
everyone's question was, is this okay with your midwife? Funny thing is, my midwife, my current midwife, she always says, girl, when I see you work out, she's like, man, I ain't doing enough. She's always like,
All
I
the
need to
time.
go to the gym. She's like, I look at you. She's like, I don't know where you find why you find that motivation. I did get a DM one time from someone and said, girl, if I were pregnant, she's like, I use this time to just eat whatever I want.
hell no.
And you know what's funny? I used to think that before having babies because I was into fitness, right?
Right.
And I would, when you're into fitness, you kind of like can't wait for that day where you can like eat
Do
whatever you
fuck
want,
right.
you know?
Yep.
So I used to be like, man, if I were pregnant, I'd be eating whatever I wanted. And it's not true because you think about your child.
And
like,
then when you have the baby, it's like triple the work
Oh my
to
gosh, yes.
get back to where you were.
I had to gain 30 pounds very fast though, because towards the end of your pregnancy, your babies are so high up, you can't eat as much and you can lose weight. So I actually had the luxury of being able to do that. I ate cheeseburgers. I mean, girl, it was great.
Yes.
Oh my God. But then towards the end, I could hardly eat anything. I mean, shit, I was peeing every 2 seconds because I had 2 babies on my bladder.
Oh my God.
well, that's
Jesus,
me.
help her.
It's
Yeah.
like I carry 2
Yeah,
babies
yeah, because of the fibroids.
How far
Right.
along are you now?
I think today I'm officially 7 months.
Yay.
Son of a bitch. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm 7 months.
Penny
today.
and Brooklyn are like testaments to you working out and how strong the kid can be. Because Penny's over here already doing ladder drills.
I
and-
saw
that. I was
her.
like,
Hurdles and
get it,
shit.
she had the Brooklyn can do 5 strict pull-ups.
And
Wow.
yeah, she's like an
6
American
and a half.
Ninja Warrior already
She's
at
like
6.
so strong.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like she's been freakishly strong since she was little. She's always, and Weston, you know, he's smart. But Brooklyn,
He's a big brain.
Brooklyn is super athletic. Like she's just, it's
Question: do you feel when twins happen? Do you feel like one sucked up more than the other? Like, okay, in your case, like
Oh, for
Brooklyn
sure.
sucked
It
up in
feels like
athletic.
it.
Brooklyn, not only that, she is the more dominant one, but she also, he was 4'2", she was 4'9" when they
Oh,
were
so she
born.
was the bigger
so
one.
she took all, I mean, like she's been aggressive from the get-go. She's like her mama, she can't help
Dude.
it. She's aggressive, and
I like
you know,
that.
but she is like strong, and it's like that in everything, you know.
But I don't know. I don't want you to compare your children, but
No,
is,
let's-
is
We do all the
Weston?
time.
Weston is. Do you feel he's the smarter
Oh,
book wise?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, just engineer mind in everything that he thinks. And, like, literally, he's like, Mommy, did you know that gravity is a centrifugal force of the...
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Like, he can watch that stuff.
That's
and, like,
amazing.
And he's just, you know, do you know that the optic nerve is...
Oh my God.
Storybots. I'm telling y'all. Let him watch
Storybots.
Storybots, yeah.
It's
Great
legit.
show.
Is it in
Snoop Dogg.
Spanish?
No.
No.
They might have
Can
it in
I change
Spanish.
it?
Yeah,
To
well,
the-
closed
yeah.
caption,
Yeah.
But,
Not closed captioning.
No,
Oh, well,
like
yeah,
the
reading.
voice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but I mean,
Audio.
Weston is very engineer minded. You know, he's just how things work, how things put together, puzzles and this and that.
Yeah.
Not that Brooklyn's not smart; they're both very, very intellectual kids. But she tends to be on the
But they
more
have different
athletic-
strengths.
Active, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But they're complete polar opposites.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not only are they different genders, but they have different interests and everything. But they're best friends. I mean, they find time to play together really well, and you know, do this and
Yeah.
you know, and everything.
I'm so afraid of. I think Penny is so cool. Like I legit think she's so fucking cool, yo. I do.
She really is.
And this next baby's gonna be like, you're up for it, you know?
I keep telling my mom, I was like,
What do you think the next baby's gonna be
I don't
like?
The bar is set high.
They're polar opposites a lot
feel
of the time,
bad
right?
for her. I was so
She's got
I feel
a high
bad
bar.
for her. I'm like, what if she's not like Penny? She goes, well, yeah, she's not going to be like Penny. It's
Exactly.
another human. I'm like, I know. I'm like, but what if she's just not as cool as Penny? What
What
am
if
I
she's
going to do
cooler,
with
though?
her?
Who's Penny more like? You think you or Pete?
Or is she
okay.
a good mixture?
I think she's a very good mixture of
Yeah.
the two.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say is I'm smart, but I'm not I'm more of a I have to study. Does that make sense? Like I
Yeah.
just can't
Yeah.
like Weston, I can't just did you know like I don't retain it. If
Okay.
it's not interesting to me at
Yep.
all, I'm not going to
That's how I am.
I'm not going to remember it. I'm not going to do any of that. And this is and I noticed that Mickey is this way. I don't know if it's cuz Pete is very smart. For those I know y'all think that just because he's making a fool of himself when he wears wigs, he's a little nerd, like he's a little genius. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So he's very smart.
Right.
there are a lot of smart comedians. I don't know why people try to make it seem like if you're a comedian,
that's what we
you're
said
dumb.
yesterday, and when we went live, I'm like, why do they think that because you're a comedian you're dumb? Like most comedians are really
a lot
smart.
of them are really
They have
fucking
to be
smart,
really
They're
dude.
really
Yeah.
smart because they
Yeah.
don't think the same way a lot of us do. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was funny. And here's why I'm going to say this. You know, when Aiden forgot his tablet at the house, okay? A long time ago, when Penny was little, when she was, as if she's older now, when she was about 1, I'd always say, oh, mommy forgot. And I'd sign, forgot, right? I'd sign to her, ay, mommy forgot, se le olvidó. I'd always say like that. And I never tried to sign entire sentences because I always feel like she wouldn't grasp, but it's a really
Right.
dumb concept because
They
you think
do.
about it, deaf parents immediately are signing to their children.
Yeah.
They're not signing one word, they're signing full sentences to them.
Right.
So I still just do words here and there. So that was a word that I would do all the time with Penny when and I'd be playing around and I'd be like, mommy forgot, So then she kept trying to tell me that Aiden, and she says Asian. She doesn't say Asian. Asian forgot his tablet. And I was like, what? Olvidó is what she was trying to say, but she's little, so you can't understand what.
Yeah.
I said, Aiden, ¿qué? Olvidó tableta. And she kept trying to tell me, I'm like, and she's just staring at me like this, almost like she's going in the back of her brain. Like, I know my mom has taught me this sign. And then she goes, olvidó. I was like,
Oh my God.
I
Wow.
got up and I hugged her and I said, you're so fucking smart. I was like, I can't believe it. And
That's great.
Aiden's like, what'd you say?
Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, and a little bit.
She's like, why is she talking about me?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And so I couldn't believe it that
That's
she
awesome.
remembered. And I was like, Pete, I taught her that sign when she was like little, like a baby. Like, how did she, but
Pull that out,
she
right.
she stared at me, which was kind of freaky. She just kind of went like
through
this.
You know what I'm saying.
And
Mom.
then she just kind of was like, almost like her little hamster was going like, okay, find that sign. You know the sign. Where is
Yup.
it? And then she just goes like this. And I was like,
Wow.
Olvidó? Sí. And I was like, ah. And I just hugged her and I couldn't believe it. I mean,
That's
we're talking
awesome.
about something that I showed her when she was a
Yeah.
baby.
A year and a half ago.
And I could not believe that
That's
somewhere
crazy.
in her brain, she still.
Did you give her a treat
had
for
it.
that?
Did you give
I
her a treat?
didn't, but
She's
I
not
told
a
her. I
dog.
know, but that is kind of what I do. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're more inclined to remember.
That's
things.
true.
Yeah, and
That's
so
true.
I didn't. I gave her. She likes to put money in her piggy bank. So
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
So I
even better.
said, "Here's a quarter to put in your piggy bank." And so
that's
she's like, "Okay."
awesome.
So she loved it, but she's a little smarty pants, man. But she's
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
very active and
Right.
she's very aware and she knows and she's always asking like,
Well, this second one could be the shy one.
Yeah.
Because look at how you and your sister are different.
That's true.
I know.
Like there's
My
an
sister and I
outgoing
are
one, and
very
then there's like a
different.
shy one.
I mean, Brooklyn and Weston are very opposite. If you've seen the twins on the candle page, she's just like, "Hey guys," and
Yeah.
Weston's like,
Hey guys,
"Buy my candle."
we made some news.
Yeah, he's super shy, like, and just reserved. He's like, "No, man, I don't want to be in front of the camera." Brooklyn's like, "Yeah, man, I do." Like, put me in front
Yeah.
of it.
Penny-
If I
Penny's
tell
exactly
her,
like that.
we're gonna go do a photo shoot today.
She's
her
like, "All right."
She's like, okay, what dress am I wearing? Like,
That's so
fix my
funny.
hair. You need to fix
Yeah.
my hair. Is it my turn yet? Have you fixed my hair yet? And
So the big thing with us is like favoritism, and we joke all the time, like, "Who's your favorite?" And we're like, "Well, today it's this
Yeah.
person." This one. And I always tell Brooklyn, "You're my favorite daughter," and I'm lucky I can do this because I have a boy and a girl, and I'm like, "You're my favorite daughter, you're my favorite son." But side note, some days, man, ones are your favorites and ones aren't. And
Yeah.
you hate to say that, but like sometimes they can be little assholes.
my babysitter
Yeah, I
will
know.
straight tell you who her favorite child is, and she don't care that her other kids know.
Oh, that's funny.
Who?
My babysitter,
That's funny.
Damn.
she does not care.
I know I'm the favorite, so it's like,
I know I'm the favorite too.
Oh, I don't think I'm the favorite.
hey, Marissa, we know that.
I know I was my dad's for sure. He favored me, but I don't know that I was his favorite. I want to use the word favored. With my mom,
How dare you? You just
with
tiptoe
my
around that.
mom, I think my mom. It depends on what the occasion is. That's who she's gonna favor.
Really? Yeah.
So if it's like something that has to do with like taking care of things, right, or like she's got a situation that needs to be resolved, it's me who she calls.
Right.
But if she needs like something else, like if it's just a random thing, it's like, oh, she goes to my sister, and
That's
it's
funny.
but anything that has to do with seriousness or problem solving, it's I gotta call her. But I'm gonna say my sister was my mom's favorite.
Yeah.
She just favored
She's
her all
being
the
nice.
time.
Might as well was being nice.
No, she just did. It was always like, don't do. Even when we were in high school, bro. Listen to this crap. One time my sister was having a hard time writing some paper, right? So meanwhile, I'm on the drill team, the soccer team. I'm like trying to be all great so that I can go to college one day because I just don't want to just be in just nothing. And, all this pressure of being the oldest, right? And then my sister's sitting there in her room. And then she goes to my mom's room and says, this is a really hard thing to do. Like, I don't know how to write this paper. And so I'm like, I'm in my room, right? Minding my business. And like, I'm getting my stuff ready for the next day, right?
Marisol.
And then she goes, Marisol.
She was so motivated.
Yeah, I was self-motivated. There was no one to encourage me because my parents were too busy working.
Yeah.
It's like, if I didn't have the self-motivation, it was going to be kind of like, it was going to be like, okay, so figure it out, girl. Like, my mom had no problem giving me the money to do whatever I needed to do.
But you're going to figure it out.
You need to figure it out. So I would find my own rides to go to and from my practices until she got me a car. Then I didn't have to do any of that. But it was like, oh, I want to go to dance class. Ooh, well, here's the money for it. Go register yourself. But I don't know how you're going to get to and from it because I got to go to work. So figure that out. So it was like, so what ballet class are you taking at Memorial Athletic Club? And it'd be like, oh, what time? Cool. So do you think I can ride with you? I can give you $20 a week for, and then I just asked my mom, hey, I need $20 to give my friend to give her for gas money.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, So with my sister, she got lucky because by the time any of her activities kicked in, I already had a car. So now I was mom picking and dropping off and going to her activities. So she never had to worry about that. But that day, my mom's like, comes in the room. She goes, hey, you need to help your sister. I'm like, why? She's like, because she doesn't know how to do this homework and she's got to turn it in tomorrow. I'm like, okay, well, that seems like a personal problem. Why is she waiting until 8:00 at night to go do this? I was like, I'm like, I have to wake up in the morning because soccer practice, they freaking practiced early at the crack of dawn. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a morning person to begin with. I'm not a no 6 a.m. person. And so I'm like, I got to get up. I was like, I got to still shower. I said, I already finished my homework. She's like, you need to write this paper for her. You write this paper for her right now, or, I'm taking away the keys. The keys were, she's had
They
control.
were live.
Yeah.
They were live.
Man.
So I just sat there, I burning up
She was
inside.
angry.
I'd be like, this is why she doesn't know how to do anything. And I'd just be screaming like, nothing. She doesn't know how to do nothing in life. And I'd be so mad. And then she'd just be like looking at me. She's like, okay, well, I'm just telling you.
But did it make your sister want to help or
No.
do the paper? So she took the scream and she was like, well, guess she's right. Get to typing.
And so there I am. And I'm sitting with her. I'm like, you're going to write it? I'm just going to tell you what to write. I'm not writing this. Well, because there was no computer. You know what I'm saying?
You're handwriting.
We're still handwriting.
You had to write it.
Yes, it was not
Rob.
computer yet. Robert,
young
How
man.
old were you?
She said, you young
high
man.
school.
I didn't have.
But what year was this?
I mean, she was in the we didn't get a computer till she was in the 10th grade, and I was a senior.
Yeah.
Bro, but what year is this?
1990 something.
Oh, snap.
So our computers still
Were
were
you
this
born
big.
yet?
Were you?
I was like 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, Rob.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So having a computer was a big thing.
It's a luxury.
I had
I get it. I was in high school when I got mine.
a see-through one. I think it was the first
The Apple one?
Apple
The
one.
Apple
Oh,
one.
dope.
Oh,
See, I
yeah.
never had an
So
Apple.
I had an Apple, the see-through one. It was like blue.
Blue,
Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't pink.
Yeah, well, because it wasn't a choice. My mom
Yeah,
said
your
this is
mom,
the one
yeah.
you're getting.
This is what you're getting.
Yeah,
That's funny.
And so it was also in the apartment that we lived. There's like, you know how they put desks in the little a nook, like a little area. So it was in the kitchen area. So we all had to share it. So there you hear
The internet.
as it's dialing up. Oh my gosh, it was like
You've got mail.
crazy. I found a floppy disk the other day, guys.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Did you show it to
Those
Mickey?
are old
Do you know what this
school.
is?
No, I found a floppy disk and it says prom pics. Those are my prom pictures on the floppy disk.
How are you going to get those off?
I don't think you can anymore. You have to go to somebody.
You might be able to.
Go somewhere.
You can
Yeah,
go
you
somewhere.
might be
Someone's
able
gonna
to.
have to.
crazy
Yeah, it
is
says prom
that?
pics on with a little label on it, and it says
That
prom
is
pics.
so funny.
That might be worth just getting like a drive and hooking it up to your computer, like a floppy disk to USB.
It's not
Do they
that
make
crazy.
They have to make those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
It was
crazy.
insane. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I said, "This is floppy disk. What? It's
Things that
red."
our kids will never know.
She'll
Yeah.
never
You know
know.
what I mean?
Even Penny, you know the old. When you were like, I think you left your phone. I was like, no,
it's an old
I was like, is it
phone,
an
so-
old phone? I was like, yeah. So it's the old iPhones, the
Yeah.
real little ones. Even if you look at those, like, how did we type on those? Because
I
the
know.
letters are so
So
small,
little.
right?
Yeah.
So we had one, and so I let her play with it. Right? I know it's kind of like, really, you like, I know, but she just plays with it, and it's attached. It was the phone that I would use to for people to pay for Square, because it was an old phone.
Yeah.
So all I would need was the internet, and that's how I would charge people when we do the merch, right? So that I didn't have to use
that phone.
Yeah. We'll use that phone.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, okay, so that's the one that I would use to charge, right?
Right.
So it's still connected to the business account. So it was funny because today she's starting to press all these buttons. It's on Wi-Fi inside the house, right?
Oh, gosh.
And so today I come in.
What'd you buy?
Yeah, right.
No, today I come in. I'm like, what? Look, she's texting me.
Yeah.
So funny.
Because she's like, she looks at me. She goes, I'm like,
so
what are you
funny.
doing? She goes, celular.
Celular.
And she's just doing that. And then
That's
she's
so
just
funny.
texting. And it's hilarious. I'm like, that's what she
love her.
sees. Can you believe
Yeah.
that? At 2 years old, that's what she sees.
Bruh.
That's what she sees. She sees we do. So she thinks that
Yup.
that's life. We didn't do that at 2.
No.
I know.
So
It's a different world.
Yeah, I think about
Isn't
this all the
that
time.
crazy?
Look what we grew up with. Even myself, who's a little bit younger than all of y'all. We went from like
Thank rub it in.
records, floppies, mini discs, CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, so on and so forth. These kids are starting with
All the best
surfaces and tablets,
All the best
and the
shit.
best tech that's ever been created in over 100 years.
Yeah, I know. And it's just going to keep getting better.
That's crazy.
It is insane.
We're going to be able to read each other's minds.
Yeah, right. Teleport.
That's that Westworld
I'm
shit,
telling
man.
you,
I'm not ready
it's
for
true.
it.
We'll be able to just know what the other person's thinking without.
I don't want to know what you're thinking. I really don't.
You don't want to know what I'm thinking.
I really don't. I
Not
don't.
y'all,
I
y'all
don't.
I
I don't
think
want to
about
know
some
what
sick,
anyone's
disgusting
thinking to
shit.
be.
Yeah, for sure. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I just
That's
don't.
dark. Mm-hmm.
like Jennifer Lopez trying to shove old poo poo back in her butt. Like, I can't with her. It's too much.
Gosh, that's so funny.
I just don't really care to know what someone else is thinking.
yeah,
just
I
don't.
really don't either.
But I feel like we're gonna get there.
I feel so.
I
Yeah.
think like we're gonna get there. Either it's gonna be a device or just
if it's my therapist, that's about it. That's all that can handle my trauma.
some way that we'll be able to just communicate
Even then, that's
without
kind
even
of scary.
saying anything.
Yeah, for
Fucking
sure.
therapist being real judgy mentally, right?
You
But
know-
writing
you
shit
know they
down.
are.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I
want
love
to. I don't
it.
want to know what anybody's thinking. To be honest with you, I don't
Yeah.
fucking like that shit.
How far are y'all in Westworld? Did y'all just start it?
Just started, so it's I think episode 4
Of season 1?
of season
Oh,
1. Yeah.
God, I can't wait till you get into it.
Speaking of technology, so I really want to start pushing like an hour of education with Penny a day. Right now, it's only on Tuesdays and Thursdays whenever the sitter's not here because
Yeah.
So instead of her wanting to watch TV before she goes to bed, I decided, well, we're going to do the computer because now it's in my room. I can help
Oh,
her,
nice.
And so
I
we
saw
tried
her
it the
yeah.
other
Were those
night.
bugs?
That's
Doing
great.
her little,
Are those bugs on a pizza?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
so cute.
But it was pretty dope, y'all, because her little, I said, you have to click it and move it. Do you understand? And it was complicated at first. She doesn't have patience either. She gets real frustrated real fast. And so I told her, I said, click and move. Click and move. Do you understand? And she goes, she slams
Yeah.
it right to click. I'm like, no, you can't slam it because now the mouse goes somewhere else. So anyway, she got the hang of it. But the coolest part was that for some reason, she's able to recognize, she doesn't ever recognize numbers 6 and 7.
Doesn't recognize 6 and 7?
She doesn't, and she skips those numbers when she counts also. Is that not
Really?
weird?
In English or Spanish?
Both.
Both.
Oh.
Crazy.
Both. 6 and 7, and she doesn't recognize those.
It'll
So
come.
I'm trying to figure out why 6 and 7 are her. I don't know if it sounds, seis, siete sound too much
much
alike,
Maybe.
but in English, 6 and 7 don't.
You should get an external keypad, number pad, and do an exercise where she's using the numbers on the keypad.
That's a smart idea.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
probably a better idea than having her.
Look for him.
Uh-huh. But she's it's pretty. It's a really. It said pre-K through kindergarten. I didn't realize that she's not even pre-K age either. I thought they started at 4.
It's never too late. I mean, it's never too early to get her on it.
She was doing it on her own.
Yeah.
I was really surprised, especially since it's in English too.
That's great.
So it's not in Spanish, and so I kind of would tell her, "Do you understand what they're saying?" She'd say yes, and I'd be like, "Okay, I guess watching the YouTube videos in English is what's helping her understand
Yeah.
the language." You know
Yup.
what I'm saying? So,
So technology's good. I mean,
It has its
it's got
benefits,
its downfalls, but it's a
I
good
mean, if
thing.
you think about it, that's what they're going to be doing in school anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
even if they're homeschooled, you're going to teach them that way. Like in public school, our kids are in public school. They learn via technology.
Yeah.
There's not handheld books
Yeah.
anymore.
No, I always
They all
that's
have
what I always say. Like,
tablets.
they're not going to grow up with less tech. They're going to grow up with more tech. So the
Exactly.
sooner
And
they
it's
know how
gonna
to
be way
use it,
more advanced.
Yeah.
Right.
You like it's crazy.
And that's what we're doing this summer. You know, it's pushing the education, and like we do every summer. I mean, they were in Spanish camp one summer, or you know, whatever they're doing.
They got little business this summer.
Little business this
And you
summer.
Marisol just reminded me of the importance of teaching them the keyboard too. Like they have their tablets and they're always like, "Where's the J,
J, right.
Q?"
Yeah.
Well,
But learning how to type is,
Yeah.
I think they're ready for that. Like
Yeah.
learning the home row and learning how to
Yeah.
go from the home
So
row.
I have a picture of Mickey and her cousin. One time they were at the house and at our old office. It was set up kind of weird because they turned old art galleries into apartments, and that's where we lived. So they were
Okay.
kind of set up really weird. So I guess we had all our desks set up like long ways. Anyway, so I said, have they taught you your home row keys at school? She's like, no. And I was like, they don't
What?
teach that anymore? She's like, no. I said, do you go to computer class? She's like, yes. I'm like, okay. So I found a program where it just teaches them how to,
Right.
use them. But even now, like I'll see her and she doesn't,
she just does the picking with the fingers.
Do they teach them differently,
Yeah,
maybe?
like she has some on the home rows, but the other hand is, I call Pizza Pecker. That's what I call him. Pizza Pecker. He does this.
He does
Yeah.
do that.
I can't stand it. I don't know why. I can't peck. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know how to even do. I'm like, if I peck, I'm like this.
Yeah.
But if I do, I
Home
don't
run,
have
yeah.
to look at nothing. I know where everything is. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm an admin, you know, by nature. I've done it for 15, 20 years, but my home key is off by one on my right hand.
It's so annoying, dude.
It's off by one on my right hand,
So
and I'm
annoying.
just it's how I do. I don't
Yeah.
know why. It's just off by one finger over, and it's not. It's
It makes you want to glue her fingers the
He's-
right
he
way.
gets
I'm
so
like, what
annoyed.
are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But-
so like split keyboards have always been really tough for me because ergonomically they're good for you, especially you know you're typing, and I can type very fast. I mean over
Yeah.
80, 90 words in a
Damn.
minute, but.
I mean, I can't do it, whatever.
I can't. I'm probably like a
Okay, you
60
grew up
word
with
per
that shit,
minute.
so come on.
Yeah, I'm
Bro.
pretty average. I was pretty good. I don't
I'm
have
like
to anymore.
60-ish.
Well, I do it for a living,
Yeah,
so it's
of
a little
course.
different. You know,
You don't
and being
forget, though. As long as you don't forget, you're-
able
yeah.
to transcribe like what people are saying as they're talking to me and typing. You know, things
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm weird. Off one.
I can't
Off
use split
one.
keyboards.
I can't use split keyboards either.
Or the mouse.
The mouse.
The mouse.
You using 2 at 1 or what?
No. I was talking about the mouses, but it's the mice
Yeah.
that you know have the
The
rolly
trackball?
ball. That
No, I can't do that either.
I'm just
Oh, yeah.
Trackball, that's super ergonomical if you
yeah.
can make it work.
And
Really?
I
Yeah.
had that. I had a gel pad, but you know, back in the day when I had a cush job.
And speaking of the keypad, I couldn't stand. That's one of the things I can't stand about the Apple keyboard.
Yeah.
Is that they don't have a keypad down here?
I know.
It's on the top, and that's so freaking annoying
you
to
get
me.
an extra
That's why I
Yeah.
I
always
know.
get a Mac rather a PC because they always.
I can't
yours is on the
stand
side,
it.
yeah.
And working in customer service when you're working with numbers,
You have
this
to.
is
Oh,
all I
no,
knew.
yeah.
Key touch,
So
right.
that's the only thing I can't stand about Apples, and all that's all we have at the house is our
Do they
Apple.
have an external that you can use on
Yeah,
there?
you could buy one.
You can
Oh,
buy
yeah.
a
But it
little
still doesn't
keypad.
come
Yeah,
with
it
it.
doesn't come with it. So
Yeah.
every time I need an 8, I'm like,
First world problems, guys.
Yeah, right.
where's the 8?
World
Okay, I know, right? All these other people who are, they're like, bitch, we still using pencil and pen.
Yeah, right.
You know what
At
I'm
least
saying?
you got a computer.
Right. So
That's funny.
this started because of parenting bashing.
Yeah.
That's how this
I don't
this
even know.
began.
I know, right?
But seriously
Oh,
going
God.
seriously going
did
back to
parent
that,
bash.
it is crazy because whenever I go to like those places to play, right? I just be watching some of these parents and I just be like,
What the
okay.
I mean, and again, I can't say shit because I had a couple weed plants growing in the backyard, but the freeze fucked them up. So I know that I can't on that kind of shit. Like
they weren't there to your knowledge.
But
They
you ain't
weren't
trying
there
to
to your
instill no
knowledge.
trauma in your kids at the same time.
I'm doing the
you know?
best that I can not to.
Yeah.
But
I had
I
to-
try hard not to be judgy. I really do, because by far I am not the perfect parents. We try our best. You know, like I tell Robert, we're trying our best not to raise little assholes. That's all we can do at the end of the day. There's no rule book for this.
Exactly.
And every kid is different. I have twins, and I have to parent them each different. You know,
Yeah.
you can't parent them both the same. You treat them the same, but their parenting
They
styles,
are different.
They're just
Yep, that's true.
emotionally, intellectually, like you just have to do the best that you can.
Yep.
But I mean, don't be mean.
I think me and Rome's biggest issue is the cussing. Like, I said, what the? Pick this shit up. Like, that's just the way that we are, but we're never like cussing at them.
at
You know what
them,
I'm saying?
right.
But it's like every other word is shit.
Right.
Or something.
Right.
But other than that, man, I think Isaiah is just like, oh God, mom's crazy.
How old is he?
I don't cuss when
He's
I speak
11.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He's
I only
11.
cuss when I speak English. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
Spanish,
it's
it
crazy.
sounds so
It
much
sounds so
more
much
aggressive.
worse.
Yeah,
Even the
it
word
does.
stupid sounds awful in Spanish. It's like, yeah, it's like. So I can cuss in English, but I can't get myself
Yeah.
to do it in Spanish.
It's hard.
I honestly, I don't ever use a cuss word in Spanish.
No, not never.
Well, I mean,
Never.
I'm
you
trying to
really
think.
only use Spanish with your parents, and I can't imagine you would cuss in front of your parents.
No, I don't.
Have
cuss.
you ever?
Not Spanish or English. It's just I don't
Yeah.
care to.
Yeah.
That's just that
It's a
southern.
respectful
yeah.
thing.
Question: are y'all for or against spanking?
I've spanked a couple times, but
I've-
it doesn't work. So
So
it doesn't work.
I spanked my daughter once, bare butt. She did something I can't remember what, and
was in the
she
bath, too.
laughed
Yeah.
at me. Holy
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't work.
no! And then we were talking about it the other day. I flicked her in the mouth once because she spit at me, and she was young. She was
They're
two,
like 3. They
two.
had that habit for a while.
She was butt naked, getting in the bath, and I was like, "What the?" Just popped her in the mouth. She's crying. I want to go to my daddy's. Open the door. She's butt naked. I said, "Go, go,
Bye.
bye." She said, "But I'm naked." I said, "I don't care. Go." And then I was done. But no,
Hey.
spanking did not work. Timeout would work.
Yeah.
Using your words. Making. You did make a good decision. Never the bad boy, bad girl, but like talking to them. Just being. Just use your words, communicate with your
Yeah,
children.
and that's the
I'm
other
not
thing, too,
saying
is like-
some kids need to be spanked, okay?
Yeah.
But if they got more spankings, they would be a little bit better. But spanking
But
did
yeah,
not
it
work
never
for my
worked for
kids.
us.
Yeah, it didn't work for us.
So I just
I'm
try
not
to figure
against
it out.
spanking at
I'm not
all.
against it.
I'm not either. But it never worked.
I should have been
spanked.
spanked as a child. I probably would have been a lot better.
That's 100% sure.
Yeah.
I
I was
got
definitely
spanked and I was bad.
I'm not against it. They're
My
just not my
sister
kids.
got spanked. I did not get spanked.
I'm not against it. She doesn't really do anything yet.
Yeah, well, the twins.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
like it's gonna take something big. Like for Isaiah, it was like something like, okay, look, I let you get away with murder, but when it comes to school, bitch, I'm not playing with you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was something, I can't remember what it was, but it just boiled down to him being lazy and pop, pop. It was bad.
I don't think the twins have ever done anything to really warrant it except for spitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spitting was, and they didn't bite, but spitting. Well, Weston's getting to where he talks back the other day.
Oh, it's so
Mommy,
funny.
no, it's not funny. Mommy, can I have some more milk? And he's sitting, and I don't normally give them food on the couch, but when they're watching TV at night, whatever.
Yeah.
Mommy, can I have some more milk? Yeah, baby. Bring me your cup. You got feet.
You got legs.
Oh, yeah, you got legs. I said, what did
But
you say to me?
The sock thing the other morning was funny too.
What did he say?
When he didn't have one sock on. And you
Oh
were-
yeah, I said.
He walked out of his room.
He only
They-
had
they
one
just
sock
woken
on,
up.
one sock on, one sock on. I said, "What's wrong with your sock?" Oh, don't worry about it.
He goes, "Where's your other sock?" He goes, "Oh,
Ooh, I
I'm
might have
fine. Don't
popped
worry
them
about
out.
I said-
That
I
would have
said-
been out. That would have been not jive with
Isaiah
me.
gets brave.
That's one of those like ear pulling things, You pull them by the ear, and you're like, "Listen, bro, I am your mother," and I did. I was like, "Look, I am the mom. You are the child. You will not speak to me that way. Do you understand?" And talking to them like, "Do you understand why?" And he's heard it somewhere. That's why he's emulating it. And it's just like, okay, look, that is rude. And then he gets all in his feels and he's real sad. And I'm like, look, you're not in trouble, but just don't do it again.
it.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really funny.
I
Yeah.
clap my hands really loud and I'll say "Epa,"
Yeah.
and then she looks at me and I'm like,
that's
she
true.
just like she knows. That's all.
Rob's not I've never heard this man in the 4.5 years we've been together raise his voice. And I know he has a voice. I mean, he has a sexy voice, but he
Hey,
has
thanks.
a deep,
Get it, Rob.
Yeah,
Get
You
it,
know.
Rob.
he does
You know.
have a
Yeah.
very stern voice. I know he does. And, never heard him yell ever. Brooklyn was hanging on the double doors in the pantry, just hanging. And we kept telling her, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Brooklyn. Robert goes, "Brooklyn." And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it stopped me. And she was like, "Whoop." And he was like,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Sometimes
And I was
you
like,
gotta get
holy
loud.
crap, it scared me. I was like, I don't ever want to make you that mad ever. Please don't ever yell at me.
But right away, she was like, I was like, "Don't do that. What kind of snack do you want?" Okay, fruit bars. Okay.
And then the other day, then she came back the next weekend and was like, "I'm going to get a snack, but I'm not going to hang on the door."
She said that,
And
yeah.
she knew.
Oh,
She
that's
knew.
amazing.
Yeah.
She's 6.5. She should know. But
Yeah.
yes, she was like,
She has
I
her
don't want
slip-ups.
that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
I was afraid of my dad, but was not afraid of my mom. So I was more ballsy with my mom to where I could talk back. I knew that I could say maybe 2 things to talk back before it was going to get like, you're going to get slapped,
Did
right?
you ever get slapped?
By my mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just
Yeah, I got
respectful to my
slapped.
mom. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, and it didn't.
That's why you're not the favorite, Marisol.
Did she
and-
remind you of that?
No,
that's good.
I wasn't always disrespectful. Like I had an opinion, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I was a good kid. Like
But
my mom
why?
couldn't
Yeah,
say,
kinda thing.
couldn't say like, I mean, that's one thing my mom always says. She's like, I am so happy I never had to worry about like, where y'all were, what was going on. Like y'all aren't drugs. She goes, I'm thankful for that. She's like, so sometimes she was basically what she was saying. Sometimes like you kind of put up with things as a parent because you
Right.
think about all the shit they're not doing, and then you're
Right.
like, well, it makes up for all this other garbage that I hear. My mom's a hairdresser, so you got to remember she hears
Everything.
and so she'd always come home and be like, I'm so glad you guys are not like this. Like, I'm so glad you guys haven't had like 5 different men, and you're not even 20 yet.
Marisol, I was really lucky, but that mouth.
Yeah. But for me, I became disrespectful, I would say, to be honest with you, when my parents divorced and my mom started dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was appropriate.
So you were
Yeah.
just mad at her?
Not mad at her. I just felt like I don't want to know what you're doing. Even if you are dating, that's fine, but I don't
Right.
want to know about it. My dad was very private about it. We never knew when he dated, and I appreciated the respect. And I felt like even if he did have several different women that he might have been seeing, we never knew, and we never like.
You were older when your parents.
Yeah, I was already almost 16.
Okay.
So, I mean, I was way older. So you got to remember where I felt that it was a little unfair was the fact that I didn't grow up without a mom and a dad in my
Right.
household. I grew up for the majority. I mean, 16 is pretty much, you're pretty grown, like
Right.
already at 16, you
Yeah.
know? So I grew up the majority of my life with both my parents. So for you to start introducing someone new and for you to want me to just be like, hey, what's up?
Wasn't gonna
Yeah.
fly.
No, it was
no.
not going to fly with me, especially not growing up in a very, very traditional Mexican household,
Right.
where that just didn't happen. So for me, I'm going to be honest. I feel like I started becoming disrespectful probably towards my senior year. And then when I came back to moved back from College Station, I just felt like there was too much change happening in my house, and I didn't agree with it. And I had an opinion, and my mom used to always say, the day you pay bills in this house is the day you have an opinion.
And then she
Right.
backhanded you.
So then I said, cool. So she was leaving to Germany one summer for a month. During that month, I already had a job. I could afford to take care of myself. So I was 20 years old. So I grabbed all my stuff. I didn't have any credit or nothing. So my grandmother had to co-sign the apartment for me because I couldn't get my dad wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
My dad said he felt that I needed to stay at home, and he felt that I needed to figure out how to get along
But
with
your
my
grandma
mom.
came through.
My grandma came
Was
through.
that your dad's mom or your mom's mom?
My dad's
I was
mom.
gonna say your mom's mom would have been.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Right.
I haven't seen her.
Okay.
I don't know how long.
Yeah.
So she signed for me. She co-signed for me, and I got my apartment. And so I grabbed all my things. And when my mom came back from Germany, she was like, "What?" And she was mad at me. Mind you, I had a job. I was in school, and I would still go help her at her shop. So I would take care of the payroll. All the admin things that she didn't want to take care of, I would
Right.
still take care of it. So even though I had my own job, and I still would go help her. You see what I'm saying? So I
Right.
remember I went in just to go help her, even though I had moved out. She was pissed at me, and she wouldn't talk to me. So she didn't talk to me for a month, but she still
Yeah.
took my help. She still took my help, but I would go in and talk to me. She didn't. And then her boyfriend at the time was like, "Hey, if you don't want me to see your mom anymore, I'm just not going to see her, but it would just really make your mom happy. You know what I'm saying? If you came back home." I just said, "This ain't none of your business."
She said none ya.
And I said,
None, yeah.
"So this has nothing to do with you." I said, "So don't call me
Ever.
ever."
Heyo.
And then he just kind of was like, okay.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
that was the end of that.
Girl, when I moved out, my mom called my job
Oh no.
all the time. I worked for my uncle. He was a lawyer. So I was working in his office, like doing stupid shit. And she would call. And I had his wife is like, your mom's not eating. Your mom's depressed. I was like,
Oh well.
well, she
That's
about
what
to
he
lose,
basically
she about
called
to
to
lose
tell
20
me.
pounds.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's what
'Cause
he
I ain't
called to
going
tell
back.
me.
So I moved out
Bitch,
2 weeks
after
after 2 weeks after I turned 18. I moved out, and I was raised by my godparents on the weekends, but my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, actually raised me from like 5 to 18. So 2 weeks after my 18th birthday, I didn't even tell her. I literally wrote her a note, put it under her pillow, packed and left. I don't even know if you know the story, Rob. And I was just like, I know I'm making the wrong decision, because I moved in with a guy, my high school boyfriend, to Houston, from Snook to Houston. I know I'm making the wrong decision, but I've got to make this decision, and whatever. I have no regrets on the way I did it, because she passed literally 6 months later, and I would have been the one there when that happened. So it all happened for a reason.
Yep.
But no, I literally couldn't even tell her, because she would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? She was real aggressive, Yankee.
Yeah.
But she would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, I wrote her a note, put it under her pillow, chunked the deuce, left, and no.
I think it helped my mom and I's relationship by me moving out, to be honest with you, though.
Yeah.
Probably.
We became a lot closer. She spoke to me like an adult, not like a child.
Right.
She treated me way different, because now she had no say in regards to what
Anything.
I did or
Right.
any of that, because she was not financially taking care of me at all. In no
Yeah.
sense. She was not paying for my school. She was not paying for my bill. Nothing.
Did y'all become more like friends then? Like,
My mom's been always very good at, I am your mom.
okay.
Yeah.
And that's all I
That's
am
good.
to you.
Yeah.
I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
Do I wish at times she could have been more of a friend? Maybe. I appreciate she's my friend now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad she waited to be my friend
Yeah,
until
Right.
now.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is
Yeah.
now, is it different?
Yeah.
Now I appreciate more that now that I'm a married woman with children.
yeah.
She is, she still sees us as kids, though. That's the weird thing.
I don't think that ever goes
I don't know
away.
if that ever goes away. I don't want to do that, and I'm
Yeah.
afraid to do that. I hope I can. She's an adult now,
Right.
and it's like I have to let her make mistakes, right?
That's
I
crazy.
really want to be able to do that. I don't want to help every time. My mom did an excellent job about that. You fucking figured it out.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you decided to do that, so you figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
The title of
was
this
that way-
episode's going to
oh.
be No Hood Like Motherhood.
Yeah, no,
I
like, yeah.
did that with my baby sister, though. My god sister, she's 8 years younger than me, and I treated her like a baby. Didn't nothing. Just she's my baby sister. She's a child, whatever. And until she got married, and she's 27, almost 28 now. I was just like, she's not an adult. She's my baby sister. And now it's like, now we're friends. Like we can talk, and I can think of her as an adult. But it took a while. Like my younger Frances, my middle sister, she's my BFF, but my baby sister, she's always baby. She's my baby sister. And now
Same.
it's like,
I will solve any problem for my sister till this
Yeah,
day, and
yeah.
she's about to be 37.
it's so funny that you call your sister Sissy. I do the same for all my sisters.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sissy. How are you? Oh, Sissy, Sissy.
Or
Robert,
hey,
oh,
sister. I think
hey,
it's so
oh,
annoying.
sister. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it is.
sister.
Sister. I'm like, hey, sister. How's it going, sister? They have me
I'm
saved in
always
my phone
like,
as
"Hey,
sister.
Sister, do you know what
Sister.
happened today?
Yeah.
I'm always.
I find it annoying.
Robert's like, it's annoying.
Yeah.
You and
I
Mariswole both do that, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, get over it.
It's a habit. I don't
It
know.
is.
I don't know.
Marissa's like, hey, bitch.
Yeah.
I don't even say
That I've never. And that's another thing
don't even
I
say
said. I
that.
have never
Damn.
gotten along like that.
Really?
Like, bitch, guess what happened? Never.
Yeah.
It's
You
like
know, I didn't start
weird.
I don't do
saying
that with
you
my
know what? I
sisters
didn't start
either.
saying bitch to other people until probably about 2-3 years ago. Like I never said that.
This
That's all I
Not
ever
in
said.
high
This
school.
motherfucker
Not in.
would-
I
He'll
never.
do it to me. He's like, bitch. And I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
But it's a term of
It's a term- yeah, it's a term of endearment.
If he doesn't, he would never call me bitch, but it's like bitch.
I mean, I probably should have in the
That
past, but I
just
never
started
did.
happening probably a couple years ago. I was like, bitch, but I never did that.
Right. That's funny.
But it's kind of crazy because my 11-year-old, I wouldn't say like we're like friends. He knows that I'm his mom, but that's my homie.
Yeah.
Like he's so honest about everything. He just tells me everything, tells me what's going on with him. And it's
That's good though.
Yeah.
I want them. Listen, one thing that I wish my mom would have been. That's what I mean about when she was older is I couldn't go tell my. I mean, I told y'all the period story.
Yeah, and
so it was too much.
I was
you know
like
what I'm saying?
that too, but I couldn't tell them.
Yeah,
anything.
it was too much to where. Listen, I'm not condoning anything, but right. So even if it's something like smoking weed, okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm gonna bite my. I maybe will regret saying this later, but if she for some reason, I'd rather her try it first in my house.
Right.
Like I'm not saying like you know what I'm saying. Then for her to be with friends, I don't know what that bitch is finna give you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like what if she
True.
gives you some shitty ass weed?
Hey,
you know
one
what I'm
time when
saying?
I was in
Like-
high school, we were all getting stoned and shit, and somebody passed me. Right when I hit it, I knew that something was wrong.
Oh no.
And they dipped it in fucking embalming fluid.
Oh.
Dude, and it fucked me up. So that's why I was like,
Did you start biting people's faces off?
no, I
It's not
didn't.
bath salts, bro.
I did.
I mean, it
didn't.
may as well be.
I don't know. Does it do
Yeah,
that?
they add
Oh,
that to
really?
it as well. Yeah, they can.
Dude, and but
Wow.
that's kind of the thing too. Is like I've had some uh-ohs, and that's why I was like, okay. That's why I was like, it's kind of the same thing. Like I don't want to be like, oh, I'm condoning you getting all fucked up, and you know what? I want them to focus on being athletes and doing what they're doing. But if you
But
do
also,
have that curiosity, because I know that you will,
Right.
you know, you can talk to me.
Same thing with like sex. It's like how do you talk to your child about that? I don't want to know that you're having sex to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to.
Rome's already brought it up to Isaiah. He's like,
how
you
uncomfortable
playing
is
with
he?
your balls, boy?
Oh my god!
Because he'll be in the restroom 30 minutes. He knocks on the door. He's like, "You gonna go blind, boy?"
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
God.
And then Isaiah comes out. He's like, "Mom, tell Dad to stop." I'm like, "But why are you in there so long?"
Yeah, right.
Had him
I need to know.
take a dump. Jeez. Just a heads up, it's 2:00 and I know you got things to do.
Yeah. Okay. What was I saying?
Sex talk.
Oh yeah, I don't know that I want to talk that. I don't know
I
that
don't
I
know
want to
if I
have that
ever wanna do
either.
You're
But
going
I
to
have-
want to
I
eventually.
have a feeling we are going to be the ones that
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that
You're
conversation.
gonna have
because,
to.
Yeah,
You're
my
gonna
ex
have
and
to.
Yeah, I
it's
don't
not
know if I
gonna
want to
happen.
be like, okay, so we're gonna probably need to go get I don't want to even.
Yeah,
You
think
don't
about
even wanna
that.
suggest
Get an
it,
eggplant,
girl.
get a condom, do what you,
You
got
don't
to
want
do.
to suggest it, but you kind of have to talk about
Yeah,
it.
because if you don't, then you
Their friends are going to influence
Yeah.
them.
And
Not
then
only
it's
that,
more
but-
taboo, right? And then it makes you be more curious versus someone
yeah.
educating you about it. You know what I'm saying?
And
It's
what
like,
could happen.
all I'm trying to focus on is just trying to get my son, and he'll start golfing in September, but I just want him to focus on being an athlete.
right.
Like I don't, not that I'm saying girls won't come and all of this stuff won't come, but I just want you to be busy so that you've got
a distraction.
you've got other shit. Though girls are always gonna get in the way,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
If he's an athlete, they're really going to come. You know what I'm
yeah,
I knew you were going to say that too. I was just waiting for you to say, "Oh, they'll be
Jesus
coming."
Christ.
yeah. It's true though, especially if they're
And I know
really
he's
good.
girl, and I know he's gonna bring me home a black girl. He is, girl, because that's all he
That's what he wrote.
That's what he
does.
likes.
That
He likes-
all his home for is a black. Look, I'm telling you, every time I go to practice, he starts talking to me different. He's like, "Mama, mama, bring me my water, mama." I'm like,
Boy, if you don't
What
watch
the-
yourself.
You're like, we need to go back to humble now. Okay?
Yeah.
"Ooh, it is hilarious."
It
But
is
so
time
funny.
to go back to the suburbs.
But dude, it's funny. But I just want them to be like, focused on other shit.
Yeah.
I think like for me, I never played sports. I never did any of that. I had a lot of time on my hands, but because my parents didn't give a shit.
Right.
And so with my son, I mean, we're talking about private lessons, practices.
Idle
all-
hands are the devil's playground.
And it really is. And that's where, and my husband, he always played sports and he did his thing, but I had
Got into
too much
trouble.
time on my hands.
That's how my sister was. My sister didn't do any of that. I was the athlete. I was a cheerleader and varsity this and varsity that and
Yeah.
all the accolades. But she was just like dropping acid at 12, and I'm like, okay, well,
And that was me.
yeah, and
I was
now
12.
She turned out just fine. I turned out just fine. We have great kids.
Well,
Yeah. Stop it.
You better stop, Rob.
well.
Yeah, I had to do it myself because I really wonder though what it would have been like had I kept going to the high school that I was supposed to go to.
Yeah.
Oh fuck no! I would've been
Or
bad.
if I would have, if the fact that I went to a different high school and I saw a different type of
Person.
Yeah.
people, like wait, what is club volleyball? I don't
yeah.
even know what that is. Who does
Dude,
that?
that's what I'm saying, man.
What
I
does
feel
that
like I
mean?
had too much time on my hands.
Whenever I made the soccer team, this is going to sound really ridiculous, right? But when I made the soccer team, I remember people asking like, "Oh, so where else did you play?" And I'm thinking, this is the first time I've ever played soccer.
Just make some shit up,
Like,
girl.
I played soccer in like with my cousins. Does that count?
Down
Like,
the
I
road.
have no idea.
Played
Like,
Xbox,
in the
FIFA.
parking lot of the apartment complex.
and so I used to hate it because, you know, like when you're on the drill team, like at the end of your program, you can put like pictures of like when you were little and stuff. And a lot of the girls that were on the drill team danced together since they were little, or they were on the soccer team since they were little, and they're still friends, and the parents. And I just would look and I'd be like, I have absolutely no dance picture to put when I was little, because I didn't start dancing till I was like legit going to a dance class. I was in the 9th grade, 14 years old.
Wow.
And it was because I left dance class. I remember when the teacher said, we're going to line up and we're going to do chassés across the floor. And I said, what the fuck is a chassé? So I like get in the back of the line so that I can I'm very good at mimicking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm excellent at, because I like to dance, I just can watch your feet and or whatever you're doing, and I can do it, you know? And so I was like, okay. I'm like looking at her feet. It's like, okay, I see the steps, blah, blah, blah. Great. Okay, so then I did it. Then it was like, we're going to do turns, pirouettes. And I'm just like, what is that? So I come home, live it, blaming it on church. If we wouldn't have gone to church, I would have been able to do something. Everything's a sin in our religion.
But your mom should have been
sin.
like, but you were dancing for Jesus,
Yeah.
girl. You
And it
were
was
dancing
like-
for Jesus.
I'm all like, everything was a sin in our church. I'm like, that's what, look at. I said, do you know how
Dancing for the
embarrassing it
Lord.
was today? No, and I'll tell you a story. It's real quick about that. You're gonna be like, what? So,
Oh, my goodness.
so I was pissed about that, right? So it was like, okay. So then it was like, now I got to figure out. There wasn't Google, guys,
Yeah,
growing
you
up.
didn't
I mean,
have
I was
YouTube.
40. You know, I'm about to be 40. So back in our days, it was, you still had to find like the Southwestern, whatever, the book to see who
Southwestern
was,
Bell.
Yeah,
Yup.
to see what businesses were near you. So there was,
The phone book.
Damn.
and so it's
And that
like,
thing was thick.
Exactly. And so there I am trying to find a school. Luckily, the school, it's not that close. It sounds like it, but it was like you still had to walk a ways. But there was another shopping center behind our school. It was a little ways, but you know, that's where most of the girls went for dance. And so I
Yeah.
said, got it. Okay. So then I'm telling my mom, like, hey, I really need to enroll in dance class. Like, I don't know anything, you know, like nothing whatsoever, what's going on, you know? And so then it was like, I was in there, then I took a private because I obviously couldn't even do ballet because my foot was not shaped to point. I mean, these little girls have been doing it since they were
Right,
3,
little.
4 years old.
Right.
So now
Jesus.
check this out. I take a private lesson. Y'all know for what, guys? Just to shape my feet. I'd lean up against the wall. My teacher would just hold my feet down. We do that. We then push them back. Then we do them back. And then it's stand up, point your toes, come back down, point your toes, come back down, go back against the wall. It was like, that was my private lesson for 30 minutes before I went into my regular ballet class so that I knew, so that I could start getting the form of my foot, because these little girls have had the arch since they were little. And
Damn.
it was like trauma, like no joke. And then it was like, oh, and then it was hip hop class, right? And then it was like, hip hop to me was like the dumbest class to take because y'all had no vibe. Like, that is not hip hop.
Dance, Marissa, dance.
It was too commercial for me. I was like, y'all needs to come to the streets.
Yeah.
the
I need to show
streets.
y'all.
I can't with this.
I need to show y'all. This is not real hip hop.
See, that's where you got to show off.
exactly. So I was like, that is not hip hop. Sorry, guys.
That's where the phrase came from. She belongs to the streets. Mariswole coined it.
But speaking of dancing for Jesus, okay, so let me tell you how crazy it is. So I hope my cousin does not listen to this podcast.
Please,
but
God, don't let her listen.
her parents are my godparents, right? And they're still very involved in the same church religion that we are. It's still Pentecostal, but like another brother sister church of where we grew up. Anyway. So I continued to dance forever, even when I went to college. That's obviously why I got a scholarship. Then after that, when you miss it, when you dance for so many years, you miss it. So when I came back, I found a dance school and I started dancing again, right? And so this time it was like more adults, and so you still do your recitals and stuff like that. They still have all that. So we were all hanging out, and my aunt goes, "Oh, when's your recital?" And I said, "Oh, I think it's blah 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 day." And then my aunt makes a comment and she goes, "Is it Christian music or like world music?" And I said, "It's music on the radio."
It's secular.
And I
Yeah,
was just like,
worldly.
yeah, I said, "Oh, music on the radio?" And then she goes, "Well, at church, they now offer praise dancing." I said, "What?" And she goes, "Yes, so it's praise
Do
dancing."
you have to hold the tambourine when you dance?
It's these...
Oh, yeah.
Wait, whips.
Yeah.
Not
What
the
are
whips,
those things
the
called?
banner
Like those
things.
ribbon
The
things.
ribbon things.
ribbons, yeah.
Oh, that's
I said,
hilarious.
"Wait, come again?" I said, "What is this?" And she's like, "It's praise dancing." She's like, "So they offer dance classes at church now?" I said, at a Pentecostal church?" She goes, "Yes." She goes, "It's a Christian dance teacher." I said, so at some point the dance teacher had to go to a regular ballet, jazz class,
Yeah, right.
right? To learn any of these moves. I can't imagine that she was going to a Christian ballet school.
She got it from Jesus.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. I said,
And how old were you having this debate?
This is now 22 years old.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
So I'm
good,
older
good.
now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like, okay. Then I said, she goes, "So, you should think about maybe taking the dance class at the church, and, that way you can now dance for Jesus."
I'm gonna change the title. Dance for Jesus.
But all I'm saying is this is what I had to go through as a kid. Everybody trying to tell me to dance for
Marissa, I
Jesus.
just
That's
have
why I
to
started using drugs.
listen.
And I had too much time on my hands.
Yeah,
I
right.
sat there and I said, "So you're telling me because I'm taking the dance
Jesus, take
lessons
the wheel.
from the church, I won't go to hell then, right? But because I'm taking it at a dance school,
going
which
to
if you've
hell.
ever gone to dance school, they don't use they use newer music, but anything that's cuss word related is
It's
taken
edited,
out.
right.
Because there's children, obviously, also the attend. So
They're
my point
more worried
is
about the rhythm and the beat
Yes,
and stuff like
exactly.
that.
And they're teaching you how to count and be on beat and doing all that. It's
educational.
Exactly. So then I'm sitting there and I'm like, "So you're saying because I go to a dance school and it's secular music," I was like, "and it's not Christian music, God will not approve this, but he'll approve the other if I go to church and take the dance classes there and dance to Christian music?" She said, "Yes." I was
Sheep.
Dumbfounded.
Sheep.
I just said, "I don't think so."
We're gonna agree to disagree.
I said, "I
Yeah,
don't think so."
that's all you can do.
I said, if I was out there, maybe taking off my clothes,
Bumping and grinding.
and then letting a man maybe do some to me while
Hey,
I'm
and
on
even
stage.
Jesus don't judge them bitches.
That's. I was just trying to make a point, right? Like, do you not understand that your two comparisons make zero sense? Like, not even a little bit. Not even like. You know how sometimes you can see someone else's point of view. You're like, okay, well, I can see that, right?
Goes back to common sense. There's no common sense.
A lot of
there.
religions aren't based on common sense.
I didn't see the. I can see that.
was like,
None. And I left there, right? And then, and then, because I was also there because I still had my little jewelry store. And so I had she had ordered something, and obviously she was like, "Can you drop it off instead of me having to pay for for the shipping?" I said, "Sure." And then, so anyway, I leave and I call my mom. I said, "Do you want to know what this ridiculous thing that my aunt just told me?" And then, my mom had to be dirty, and it airs out her dirty laundry. She goes, "Well, you should have asked her about when she did blah, 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 if God was okay with that." And I was just like,
Well, damn, Mom.
Okay, then.
Angeles is savage.
Angeles.
And I said, "Mom, I didn't know that part about her, but no, I did not say that. I just said that her theory
I
just
love your
made
mom,
zero
man.
sense." I was like, because... You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. I was like, so she's trying to tell me that because it's different costumes. Different costumes.
This is why I can't.
I was like, okay.
Wow.
I gotta go.
This is why.
Yeah.
This is why I
why I
can't
walked
do
away.
the Pentecostal church anymore. It's too much for me. You just took it from here, like way
All
up
the way.
here.
Jesus,
It's
take the
like,
dance floor.
Jesus. And we'll end on that because how do you beat that? How the hell
Yeah,
do you
man,
beat
I'm
that?
telling you, Rob's one-liners are.
Oh my
they're
God!
life.
How
They're
do you?
life.
Y'all don't blow up his head.
Oh my God! How do you beat that? On that note, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Don, for being on.
Of course, thank you.
Shout out to Don, man.
I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. It's just
It's fun.
parenting.
Parenting.
It's a bitch.
Parenting. It we'll get there, guys.
One day.
One day.
Eventually.
Eventually. Don't forget, guys, we'll be at the Soho Market this Sunday from 12 to 5, 9191 Winkler Soho Market. I'll post about it again, but hopefully you guys can come out. I'll have new merch. Chinga will have new merch. It should be fun. There'll be other local vendors there as well, so that's pretty cool. And it is to support autism awareness also. So this is their event, and that's how they also keep autism alive, and so and bring awareness to others. So thank you guys so much for listening. Have a great weekend.